trust you when you hurt me so bad? You hurt me so bad. You hurt me so bad. Why would I love you when you hurt me so bad? You hurt me so bad. You hurt me so bad. How can I trust you when you hurt me so bad? You hurt me so bad. You hurt me so bad. Why would I love you when you hurt me so bad? You hurt me so bad. You hurt me so bad.
Every time we reach a new horizon, it's like you don't care that we're leaving something bare. And in the water I see cold reflections of what's really there. I'm not waiting, no, our time has come. We're fighting empires and I want to feel the fire again. It's not easy to love when the world is numb. We're fighting empires and we're gonna feel the fire again.
I was muted, wasn't I? I was muted. What I was trying to say is the past half an hour to an hour has been an absolute nightmare. Made a video, right? I made the video I was trying to make. And once I'd edited the entire video, I noticed that it's a 22-minute long video. 10 minutes of it deleted. Gone. I don't know where it went, but it gone. So I had to re-edit an entire 10 minutes that I took about half an hour to edit in about 10 minutes. Because of course the tournament started already. Was trying to start this stream an hour ago, so you can tell that I'm not trying to get the good vibes in, but I'm hungry a little bit because I haven't been eating because I've been editing, and it's just like it's so irritating. I appreciate that. There's going to be a lot of ads in this video because it's 22 minutes long. I can see probably at least 6 ads being in there, but you know, we're funding the giveaway, we're funding everything else, and honestly, part of it is I'm funding this just so that I don't have to do everything anymore. Like, I'm tired of doing everything myself. It's getting really tiring. It's what I signed up for. It's my job, and I'm not complaining. But everyone's allowed to feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Even if you sign up for something, you're allowed to feel a certain way after everything's happened and stuff. So, you know, I definitely am not giving up on anything. I'm doing everything, and I will never give up on anything. But it has been a little difficult today, so bear with me. I'm going to get some food as well, actually. That's right behind me. I'm going to eat because I've been working. I literally haven't had time to leave the desk and to go get food, so that's what I'm going to do now. Be right back. Here we go. I try not to eat directly on stream. I'll have, like, you know, little bits, but I haven't eaten anything, and I've been awake for like 7 hours already, so. Right, anyway, all that doom and gloom out of the way, Ascent is on the way. I was able to watch a bit of Gen G versus TSM. And I know we're in a best of 3, so who won? TSM won last game, okay. Test 1, 2. Okay.
Composition, excuse me. Now drone swapping away from Phoenix over to Breach. That's to be expected for TSM. But it looks like the rest of the team stays on their familiar Aiden's hazed again, playing as Cypher now, Cutler as Sova. So a little bit of a role swap there, and Sabrosa rounding things out as the Omen. Wardell feeling comfortable as
right.
Jet. And it looks like we're going to see a B site execute here in just a moment. You've got
so after this game, whoever wins, if TSM wins, I'll make the graphic. If Gen G wins, then I won't, straight away. And then I'll do some promotion for the stream. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Okay. Okay, so is TSM just getting destroyed at the moment? Is that actually no? I can't say that they won last game, but not the great first round. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Why can't I hear it as well? Weird. Maybe try that. Thank you everyone for being here, by the way. I truly appreciate you. Thank you very much. God, I'm so tired. Hold up. I just need to eat properly. So, is this going to be a case of TSM is sort of drawing with every single good team here? Because that's what it seems to be. Like, the video I just made was about Cloud9 and TSM. Because that was such an enjoyable night. Last night was so enjoyable just because of that. So I want to see how TSM does this stuff with Gen G, because obviously Gen G beat Sentinels yesterday or the day before, so. That being said. I mean, to be fair, we don't really have a top in the world right now. Even like the pros, like Sentinels, TSM, etc. A lot of them are saying like we don't know who the best in the world is right now. Like we can't know, but I know what you mean. And yeah, I liked it too, Viper. A lot of fun.
Gen G playing this one patient though, not going in gung ho, knowing that LNG is in play.
Well, unfortunately, one's gonna fall the second fairly soon. The right click does not connect. Unfortunately for Hayes, that's like 3 of them, but that third bullet missing just gave enough HP for a win to stay alive, get that last kill, and also the defuse to come in. They're running around just to pick up the right weapons too. So they'll probably, oh, actually we're gonna wait for Cypher to make it all the way back to A, so he can pick up his trap wires.
Sorry, I was trying to make this the screen fit better because it was a bit zoomed in. Who do you think is going to qualify in EU? No idea. That's really bad because I'm Valorant obviously, but I don't really know enough about a lot of EU teams. I know like the main ones, obviously Liquid and G2 are going to dominate, or at least are going to do well, I'd assume. But I don't know a lot of EU players, to be quite honest with you. So I definitely need to fix that. But I'm thinking about it now. Like TSM don't have a team in the EU. G2, okay, G2 does. Liquid does. Who else has a team in the EU? I mean, I know some of the smaller orgs, but the big orgs I'm trying to think about now. Like, the ones that really bring their headlines are G2 and Liquid, aren't they? Really? EU Valorant teams. Friend plus Phoenix, okay, yeah. They're an obvious one that I should have thought about. Null Penky, Ninjas in Pyjamas are big. Falls, obviously. Fun plus Phoenix are probably going to do really well. I know them. Like, past just knowing them from videos, I know who they are. And they've got some good stuff going on. Null Penky have impressed me before, and so have Ninjas in Pyjamas. But Ninjas in Pyjamas, from what I remember, aren't doing as well as they have done in other games before. So who do you think? Who do you think's gonna do well? Yo, what's going on, Kieran? Wait, is C9 going against Envy soon? They will do tonight, yeah. Yeah, because they beat TSM, didn't they? So I honestly can't wait. Like, today is gonna be good, obviously, but I can't wait till the next few days because I'm gonna be able to take a break from streaming, which I've only done 2 streams, so it's not that. I don't mind streaming more than this already. But more so, I want to get things ready for... I want to get videos ready so that I don't have to... I do not want to be making... I don't want to be doing this process where I make... You know, what's meant to be a good video, you know, there's so many people who could potentially watch these videos now. You know, some videos hit 1,000, some videos hit 50, 100k, so... You never want the video that does well to be not so good, which sometimes happens. And if you're trying to make a video, obviously, before you stream, etc., it's just... Yeah, it's a lot. I've been working the Frenzy a lot. You can run, shoot, and get. That's interesting, actually. That's very interesting. I can see that. I can understand that. It's still not very well. It's still not very much used, I don't think. But I can. That's actually a good point. I suppose that's a lot because of the spray, right? So you can hit headshots without necessarily being as pinpoint accurate per shot. So I can understand that. That's cool. I never used it my first round. Yeah, that's a lot of people use the Ghost first round. I personally use the Classic. But I use the Ghost sometimes. I very rarely use the Frenzy because I never really think of it, to be honest. But yeah, I generally invest in rifles when I can. I'll either use the Spectre because it's so cheap relatively to what it can do. But other than that, if it's an AR, I'll probably use the Phantom. But a lot of the time, I've also started like not even buying stuff and just taking other people's guns after they die. I've saved a lot of eco doing that recently. Damn. Okay. What's about to happen here? Gen G. What y'all doing here?
30 seconds left.
Shock dart's not going to be where it needs to be. It's now down to a 2-on-3, and TSM again
They got that easy.
has watched it just evaporate.
TSM aren't
On the round as they walk right into the A site, and Gen G remains stalwart.
I don't know. I was about to say they're not performing as well as they used to, but in fairness, they did win the last game. I didn't see it properly though. But I don't think it's fair for me to expect TSM to dominate every single team every single time. Like,
He's doing a great job to put it in different places where
yeah.
they're gonna get tripped up, walking towards
Like, you can beat the best team in NA without having to dominate every single team in NA all the time. You know what I mean? So, I think I'm a little bit too harsh potentially with that whole underdog thing. They got some hot shots last game, did they? That's cool. Really nice game. That's good. I wish I saw it properly.
Gen G looking to continue to control the scoreboard as TSM is working with suboptimal hardware. Got a Sheriff in play. You got some rifle work as well, but got Sean holding Cat right now. His Reyna play has been so good in the past. The timing, oh, it almost backfired.
Speaking of friends, I'm going to destroy people with that icebox.
Just to get some distance.
Just remember, icebox is also very long range too, so
Goes down, shock dart lands right in player one's lap.
if someone has a vandal, they'll one tap you pretty quickly. Although it depends on like what playstyle you're doing and where, you know, how far into the game. Because if you're only, say, a round or two in, you can probably get away with it. It's if you're like 6 rounds in and they have the Phantom and stuff that you probably find that difficult. But Gen G doing pretty well here, not gonna lie. Gen G are doing pretty well here.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, next time I think I'm going to, as a next stream, which won't be tomorrow, so it'll probably be a few days from now, honestly. But I'm going to probably promote this on VALORANT Hub itself, using the community tab. So, I really want to stream on VALORANT Hub, bro. I really want to, but I can't. YouTube's algorithm, I'm just worried that I'm going to lose everything with it, basically. Which it shouldn't be like that, you know what I mean? I'm only streaming on this channel right now because I don't want to mess up the VALORANT Hub, basically. Genji looking for revenge. Whoa, Macau with that well. Yeah, right? It's crazy. Yeah, Genji are playing well right now. Genji are playing well. So is this a loose match? I think well, Gen G didn't lose to Sentinels, did they? They won against Sentinels, but TSM lost to Cloud9, so after today the NA qualifier starts and we wait for EU. I know that we have another NA. I know we have NA games coming up on UMG. I think that comes up in about a week from now. I'm not sure about EU though. Yeah, this is the 3rd place game. Third, as it says. Oh, you can't see it. I keep forgetting you can't see that stuff sometimes. Yeah. It says 3rd place match right here.
Numbers advantage again for Gen G. We've seen this time and time again for them as the clock.
When does First Strike end? December sometime. I can't remember the exact date, but somewhere in December. I think it's kind of early December though, which is a bit annoying. I really hope that we just have something cool for Christmas, or like an event, or not even just a reskin, like, I don't know, something, just something. I just want something. Because this isn't even, like, esports isn't even seasonal. Damn, okay. Odin is starting to be used. Odin is used all the time now on Ascent for B-site, isn't it? We won't get 1.11 until December then. No, that's not true. 1.11 is the Sky Patch, if I remember correctly. And December time, that's a couple of months away, so no, that's probably not right. We'll probably get 1.11 in like a couple of days from now, I would imagine. Because it's been pretty delayed now, and I'm sure Riot want to get on it as soon as possible. With server getting meta, Odin is more and more, yeah. Yeah, I think it'll probably come back I think it'll probably come back tomorrow or the next day because they don't want to roll out a patch like that. Even if it is ready right now, they're not going to roll it out on the day of a tournament, and they shouldn't. So I'm glad they haven't. It would be wrong. But it definitely won't come December time. Like, it'll come before that for sure. Are the tournaments on the weekends? I think most of them are, yeah. Although, actually, this tournament hasn't been on the weekends, has it? Let me have a look, actually.
Sabrosa again able to get control of mid. They've been comfortable allowing that. You've watched the last couple of rounds.
Let's have a look.
Very passively.
VALORANT. I think I'm going to try and make some more resources to help people know what's happening, because I think a lot of people still don't know what's happening with First Strike. People are still confused, so...
Two-man disadvantage at times. There's the Hunter's Fury coming out from Cutler. He's looking to deliver some damage downrange. Does a bit. The ult gets popped from Sabrosa. Tried to use the Hunter's Fury as a masking utility.
Like, they really should...
So loud you sometimes don't hear the port.
There really should be more clear information.
That'll allow the moment to get into the back.
So the main stage will be held 3rd to 6th of December.
Backing up this B-side defense.
So that is early December, basically.
Sabrosa, he was so low on HP. His last teammate was Cutler, picked off simultaneously by Quinn. Gen G just continue to look good on the defense here on Ascent. Again, this is the pick of TSM. Haven was actually Gen G's pick, and if this continues, we will be moving into that third and final map.
I'm trying to find the details.
Split, a map that didn't work out so well for TSM last night against Cloud9.
Here we are. I was looking for a certain graphic, but I found it. So, this is what we're looking at. I know you were watching the stream, but just for a second, this is what you were looking at. So, I'll read it out so that you can watch the thing. We're not in November yet, are we? No, we're in October. So how's that the case? Okay, so 9th to 10th of November. I don't know why they're doing this. Okay. So I don't think it's limited to weekends. It looks like it's going to be on week 2. Hey, Zakky, what team is your favorite? And I missed a few messages here. Are the tournaments on the weekend? So I've already been asked that. To answer that question, I don't think it's exclusive to it. I think it sometimes is, sometimes isn't. Because week 1, for example, of First Strike, as in not UMG or Nerd Street Gamers. Damn, Gen G is destroying. I'm not watching right now, but they're destroying right now. Yeah, it's all happening like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. So, and Saturday and Sunday too. So, First Strike. Gen G are letting TSM eat their hand. They need to tweet some new info. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's what I plan on. I think that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and put up some resources on Twitter. And I might make a YouTube video too. There needs to be a place for where people can access. I mean, there are places, but that like you gotta like look for it to find the info, which it should all be in one place. But I'm sure, yeah, I think they'll tweet some info about it tomorrow, most likely. Like, I agree that they don't want to wait too long. I totally agree with that. Wow, you guys need to tell me if I'm peeking. I'm peeking so hard right now. Jeez, that's better. Yeah, they don't want... Companies don't generally try to... They don't want to over-tweet this stuff. So they'll give themselves like a certain amount of timeline, like I say, a 3 or 4 5 day period. A week is generally a long time. But they're especially during like the First Strike, they don't want to be talking about patch 1.11, or at least during a tournament day. Yeah, because some news article said they'd release it again on Halloween. No one knows, by the way. News articles are written by people like myself, journalists. The only difference between myself and a news article is that I don't write. Well, actually, I do write because I script some of my videos now. I don't script it like by the word, but I storyboard them now. articles are obviously written by journalists, which I have respect for most of the journalists, well, all the journalists that I've seen in Valorant so far. But I know that no journalists know. But we can all make it, you know, we're all going to be fairly accurate regardless. Like, if we say Halloween, for example, it's going to come out within a few days of Halloween regardless, whether it's before or after. So, there's not much, Can I just stop talking about that for a second and just take into account how much TSM's getting destroyed? Are you well, I wish I watched the last tournament properly, because the last game properly, because TSM is getting destroyed right now. And actually, to give you an idea, at some point I'll be doing news articles, or at least I'll be running a website, or I'll own a website for Valorant stuff. So, Sean is probably one of the best pickups that Gen G's made. It's crazy. Wasn't it TSM who clapped 100 Thieves recently? Yeah. Yeah. We'll see where it goes, obviously. No way, no way, no way. Taimu just. Taimu's in the chat, and he started spamming some of the copy paths that. Is that even legal?
Trying to dodge the bullets pouring through the wall from the Odin. Does connect it first. Rips his armor away. Puts it down on 11 armor, 81 HP. Hazed might be able to get the best of the Sova, who's waiting around the corner. The timing almost worked out for him. Decides to use that cyber cage to sneak in towards Switch, and it's well played from Hayes, but he's still got to be careful. That is an Odin on the other side of that.
Thing is, yes, so Gen G have 1 minute to do this. So there's plenty of time to keep this away. TSM looks like they have this one. TSM might actually win this one.
Survival is guaranteed as it all falls down onto Wardell, who's got a Guardian now swapping over.
Sorry for constantly changing the audio and this stuff, by the way. I'm still figuring it out, so if you have to, if I make you keep like adjusting the volume, I do apologize. I'm still figuring it out.
Everything possible standing in his way, including that Odin in spawn, but at least TSM will get a spike plant out of this. Spike planted.
Well, I wasn't paying attention for about 20 seconds of this round, and TSM are somehow 1v3.
Thankfully, he looks for the cover and is able to not be detected by it.
Oh.
And now he gets the first frag out to win, but immediately traded out by Mikael.
You gotta be fair though. Wardell made a good flipping flick there. That was a good flick. Like GG's on that flick. That was a good flick. That wasn't a throw, as some people are saying in the Twitch chat. Like that was good. I'm impressed.
And only having 1 assist shows how much damage he's been putting up for Gen G. Like we said before here, Bug, he's the firepower necessary that was needed here for Gen G.
But if Gen G goes 13-1 to TSM.
Oh, yeah, he's been a much welcomed presence for Gen G, but Mikael, you mentioned it. His Odin, it's not even just spam shots, it's quick flicks coming out from the LMG. Not the type of play you expect to see. Double digits in the assists as well. He's gone for that double miss shot from Quint. Allows them an opening on the snipe. There's a quick shot coming out from Gimon. Quint gets redemption on the follow-up. Looking for another, but can't quite find it. You've got players pushing in close. The door's been shut. And now you've got the advance coming in from Drone, but it's all too late. Mikael, of course, the last one.
It's just happening, chat. TSM will flip the table, don't worry, or at least try to do so, like every game so far. I mean, this reminds me more so of the... Which one was it? Sort of the split map between TSM and Cloud9. The difference is I think Gen G might be handing TSM a fatter L than Cloud9 did. I've made it very clear, I love TSM. I do. I love all of these teams. I love all of these teams. I really do.
See if they can continue it up on this second half. But
The amount of work they have to go through, each of them, to do what they do is, I will always have respect for it. I will always have respect for it. There's a reason, like, esports teams are so difficult to run. They're so difficult to play in, like, they're so difficult to organize, like... You know, we're talking about multi-million dollar businesses out here. It's difficult to do stuff like that. So... Oh! Well, we're actually going to see we're about to see 11-2. Okay. Sorry, a 10-2. My bad.
Closest shot at success we've seen for TSM in this second half since Sean dashed apart the possibility of a second round just a few rounds ago. It's the 2-on-4. They've got the spike planted on B.
Well, they have a lot of firepower there, but Neural Theft 2, if they can get a kill early to figure out where the last three players are, should we get this?
Ace this
But a
buddy.
big rolling thunder comes out from Drone. That's going to hit Win. That's also going to hit player 1, and they're just going to get dismantled. Win.
Imagine Huin just...
And he's gonna have to
Imagine Huin just used the ult and just
short, and Drone
dominated them and then diffused. Like, that would be some crazy play.
turn it over on the defender side.
That is the ultimate hope. You look at what has been going on in this first half as we take a look at the replays here in just a moment. I mean, it was a unbelievably strong first half coming out from Gen G. There were opportunities.
Now behold.
But it was always dashed apart by Gen G in the end. I mean, we saw chances.
This is TSM's comeback. As for TSM to go overtime out of nowhere.
But Sean was kind of the killer
Hey,
for a lot
who
of
knows what will happen? Who knows?
We saw that massive 4K round.
Anything can happen in these games, can't they?
First half when it should have been another round for TSM, but we'll see what happens here. It's a desperate pistol round scenario for TSM. They would really like to pick up the pistol. Otherwise, again, just like we saw for Gen G, the margin of error in that first map being slim to none would be the same for TSM here on map number 2.
Yeah. And what Sean
I do wonder what the average age of Twitch chat users are. Like, not trying to be horrible. I just genuinely do think about it sometimes. Like, with all the spam that goes on, you know? Because it is literally just dominated by spam. I think they're probably quite young. And Taimu is just contributing to all of it. Alright, so is this TSM's comeback? Because it could look like it, but it's still kind of early to tell. If Gen G stops them now, then TSM will be out of the game, probably. Because this is like TSM's time to shine. If they don't, oh yeah, I know it depends on the game, of course, for sure. If Gen G managed to stop TSM here, that's going to be a really hard hitter for TSM. Oh! This is very close. Yeah, this is it.
It's going to be so difficult for Drone to try and spot this out in time. Not much can be done. At that point, the clock was already too far gone anyway. Well played by Gen G, secure number 11. And that is disastrous for TSM. Curious to see if we're going to get a fourth.
The biggest issue for TSM there isn't the fact that they just took an L, it's the fact that it's the context that they took the L in. This is kind of TSM's time to come back, and they sort of just had their momentum just shattered. VALORANT, the people that write, probably 11. General Watch is probably 22. Well, he did all he can. Yeah, no, of course. It's just difficult. It's difficult. Yeah, potentially. I don't think it's 11. I think it's just general younger teenagers, which some, I'm not saying all teenagers are the same, obviously. I was one not long ago, but I would imagine that the average age is between about 10 and 15. This could be this could go either way. At this point, I can't say this is gonna go really well for this person because it just goes either way every time. So.
But Hayes still gets the kill. Player 1's gonna be the last one to go. He makes it a 1 versus 1 at low HP though. Hayes is going to be able to save it for TSM.
Fair play, TSM, fair play.
Yikes.
All they need is all TSM needs is 9 straight rounds. I can understand that, Viper.
But TSM was able to force back deep.
I can understand that. You'll probably think about it a bit differently when you're a bit older, potentially. But there's just pros and cons to being any age. Like, I'm 22, so it's not like, you know, only, what was it, 4 years ago, I was a teenager, technically. And I still remember a lot of what it was like. I mean, heck, a lot of my teenagehood was documented online, because I was posting a lot of stuff. And I used to talk about what I'm thinking about online, so I remember what it was like. Thing is about being a teenager is that you have all the bull crap to deal with. You also have a lot of stuff that you don't have to deal with, a lot of the time at least. Like, you know, careers and stuff like that, job and whatnot. But the freedom that you have after a teenager generally is pretty unparalleled. I can see Sky being the second most picked tournament agent. I think to start with, probably, and then like everyone will figure out the meta with her, and oh my gosh, 1 HP, okay. Is this TSM's time? I wish I was... Dang. Yeah, the main thing is the freedom that you have after being a teenager, I think. But with freedom comes a lot of responsibilities as well. So, whilst I don't have to worry about getting detention for not doing homework or something stupid like that, you know, you have to think about money and stuff like that, other stuff. But, you know, to be fair, if you get all that down, if you, like, do that properly, then that stuff that's not too much of an issue. Which, to be fair, I've done a pretty good job of so far. Like, as long as you, yeah, I don't want to go into life advice all the time, so I'm not gonna. You don't like to be Gen G right now, getting 10 in a row and then going with, don't imagine. Zakky, do you have any Valorant skins? Not many, at all. The thing is, I don't really, this is gonna sound really bad, but I don't play Valorant enough at the moment to make it worth it. If I was like streaming Valorant every day and making a living from streaming specifically, then definitely I would. But it doesn't seem like a very smart ROI for me right now. He have the alien. Do I? That's cool. I don't know. Well, put it this way, I've spent more on giveaways than I have on my own self, because that actually is there is actually an ROI on that. Biggest ROI on the Twitter is that we actually have a starting point now. So if I post something, we actually have some level of attention on it. I love this game. I love watching esports on this game. I love watching esports on this game so freaking much. I love watching esports in this game. You just never know what's going to happen. At this point, I can never say, oh, they've won already. You can't tell. You can never tell. You can never tell. I mean, obviously that was Sean doing really, really well, but even in general, like 5 seconds is the difference between winning and losing. 3 seconds is the difference. It's just ridiculous. It's amazing. So much fun.
They could go for some weapons right now to just try to salvage the rounds and hopefully bring this into overtime. But Gen G just looks so good. This is going to be one of those rounds where you're going to have to win it, about to dash through and go above and try to do something with that. So it starts off with the Hunter's Fury. He's going to get into the site right now, and Hayes has to hold up huge.
Low key, I might actually stream a little longer tonight, potentially. Simply because we don't have another stream tomorrow. So I'm not going to be as pushed for time. Because literally, as soon as I stop streaming, I'm back on it. I'm either video editing, or I'm editing graphics in general, or other stuff, so... Like, I try to prepare for the next day sometimes as well, with video editing and stuff, so...
at the end. So we are moving into map number 3, which will be Split. Interesting turn of events. I thought that was going to be TSM's map to take.
Yeah, pretty much, right? And at that point, when you look
What did I just witness?
Haven, they got pretty much dismantled on that second half on Haven. Now TSM picks Ascent.
They did. They did destroy them.
On TSM's map pick, and it goes down to a map that's going to be a little bit
TSM is very quickly, and I say this with love, losing their #1 NA spot. And I also feel bad for Wardell because the dude is probably the most well-known player, biggest brand in TSM for Valorant, at least, apart from Myth, obviously. And anytime TSM gets hit, Wardell gets crapped on in chat. I'm not showing it to you, but people are being horrible to Wardell. Like, he's 20% of the team, you know what I mean? I think TSM is going down in history for being one of the most downgraded. Going from one... I mean, let's give them some time, you know, it's literally only a few... Like, we're talking about a maximum of about 10 bad games overall, so... I wouldn't... I think it's early. Doesn't Myth play Fortnite? He came from Fortnite, but he's also big in Valorant now. He's very big in Valorant. He's huge in Valorant. He stopped, I guess. He was one of the best. Yeah, back in the day, he was the young architect. He was one of the very best. He was a Valorant... He was a Fortnite pro before Fortnite pros are what they are now, which is cracked out young people. You came from Overwatch. That's cool. I actually was doing Overwatch when that first launched too. I did Overwatch in a big way actually before, as in, yeah. Actually, if I'd continued with Overwatch, it would have been probably one of the biggest channels on Overwatch. I'm not kidding. Like, as in, when I posted about Sombra, when she released, 2 days into posting a video about her, over 100,000 views and ranked for Overwatch in the search results. So if you typed in Overwatch, I came up. So yeah, no, I was massively into Overwatch, and then, but the issue was I don't want to. How do I? Basically, I had to stop doing Overwatch. Not because anyone from Blizzard or anything else told me to. It's just it didn't make sense because of things I can't really talk about. But yeah, no, I was. Yeah, I would have done pretty well in Overwatch. Like, I probably with Overwatch, I was probably where Valorant Hub was about 3 months ago. Like, we were starting to see views. We would get at least a few thousand views per video in the first day or so. So yeah, no, I mean, heck, I've done a lot of stuff on a lot of games. Overwatch, Call of Duty, Apex Legends, Fortnite. I told you I love it all. That being said, we may as well start on the we may as well start on this. Why not, you know? Also, I thought about it. Why didn't I make the text here white? Such a missed opportunity. Like, that was such a bad contrast. Gotta love Apex. Yeah, I don't... Apex is a really unfortunate game for me. Mainly because, like... If they did more with it, then I would have probably done a lot more with it. But it's as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of a dying game, and that's not a case if I don't like it or I don't play or I don't like to play it. I don't give a crap about playing. I don't give a crap about meta. It's nothing to do with that. They're just not making the moves that they need to be making. EA or Respawn, whoever it is, they're not making what they need, which is unfortunate because it has some really good you know, things in it. But I basically just work on whichever publisher, whichever developer is smartest, I'll work with. That's my philosophy with all of this. Basically, Riot are incredibly smart. They know what they're doing. So there's a new legend now. What, for Apex? Yeah, there's a new legend coming up. They abandoned Overwatch 2. No, Overwatch 2 is happening still, I think. Unless I'm wrong, but I think that's still happening. But it's a PvE thing, isn't it? We'll see what happens with Overwatch. If Overwatch comes back in any way, then I'll probably end up, once Valorant Hub is more automated, I'll probably end up going back to Overwatch as well. But because actually one thing I love about Overwatch, apart from the gameplay, is the story. Or at least the... Funnily enough, even though there's like barely any story... Actually, no, there isn't barely any story. There's actually a lot of story with Overwatch, isn't there? But the lore, Blizzard do that very well. Like cinematics and stuff. Like any publisher that is willing to do TAC FPS, no, Overwatch isn't free to play, is it? TAC FPS in general, though, live service game with lore and cartoon fun animations and stuff is generally a good recipe for success. But everything else needs to be executed right, and Overwatch haven't been doing that recently, so which sucks. There really are only a few IPs that are doing really well right now. Like, not only a few, but like long term at least. Like we have League of Legends, which I am I'm pretty unhappy that I never got into that, because that would have been a massive thing for me, and maybe at one point I will. Apex Legends is just unfortunate because they aren't doing anything with it. Call of Duty is interesting because it goes up and down a lot. Like we have Warzone that has a lot of hype around it still. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Black Ops Cold War. Valorant's still very, very early. They need to get on with a few things, but things are looking good still. It's just it's just an awkward time because essentially it's like a kid or a teenager growing up. Like League of Legends is already an adult who knows what they're doing basically, but Valorant is a different story. We're still figuring it out, but it's in a good way so far. And Fortnite's just gonna continue forever, basically. At some point, I'll probably take Fortnite more seriously in terms of content. Started playing Call of Duty games when... Yes, I played it before that, though. Kind of. I played it a lot, though. Actually, Black Ops 2 was when I played it the most, I think, though. Because I was playing Uncharted before that. Apex got a new season. Yeah, I know, I've looked at it. Hey, what's up, Landon, by the way? Yeah, that's the thing. I do stuff in Apex, sorry. I keep up to date with it a lot. I keep up to date with pretty much every live service game. Just realized, where are we with the stream right now? Well, I'll wait. How are you doing, Reed? It's cool to see you here. Yeah, no, Apex, they released a trailer today, didn't they? I'm very aware of what these companies and games are doing all the time. So what map are they playing now? Split, I believe. Now, which teams are we looking at again? Genji. I think I already have a thing of Genji, actually, don't I? Genji. TSM already in, so that's fine. Genji logo. I think I should probably make this this white. Sorry. A bit loud, isn't it? Trying to find the right pacing or the right volume. That should be better. Ah, there we go. See, the contrast is way better when it's white there. That's awesome. Obviously, we don't know who's going to win yet, so just leave it at that for now. Hey! Oh, what timing! What timing! Let's go. Oh, you're tired? I mean, I can understand that. It is late. I also don't know where you're from either, so it might be later for you than it is for me. Actually, let's turn up the audio. Poop. Right? By the second. By the second. That was totally planned.
Right off the bat, we see Genji going for mid control, starting on the attack. Mid pretty much vacated right now as they've got Killjoy and Viper playing B, and they've also got support from
Alright.
Omen, who's back.
So how's this gonna go? Who's going to fill in the winning graphic on Valorant Hub's Twitter account?
A little bit too late. The flash comes in.
Well, already there's a lot of trade-offs going on. A lot of trade-offs going on. But who knows?
Also doing a little bit of extra damage, helping
Oh,
slow things down. But yeah, the spike's been dropped. It's been lost in heaven. And you can see them actually starting to filter out as they need to find a new way to get back to it.
And this is totally off topic, but Twitch is killing it right now. Twitch is killing it right now. We have Call of Duty popping off. We have Fortnite popping off right now with their Champion Series, and then we have Valorant popping off with First Strike. And Gen G lost this round. GG's. Unlucky. That's a little brutal. Has the bad pass giveaway? Yes, it has. I've already picked the winner. Already picked the winner. Actually, I need to DM them. I've literally already written the message, I just haven't pressed send.
Not swapping away. Drone leaning towards the breach this time around. Cutler and Hayes to have swapped a bit, with Cutler now playing Silva and Hayes typically playing Cypher. We see
just contacted the winner just now.
Cutler now switching to Killjoy on this map.
I was going to contact them after the stream, but may as well just contact them now, you know. And if they don't reply within 24 hours, then it's forfeited. We've already had one person forfeit one of the last giveaways, unfortunately.
It's a fastball play coming out from Gen G, but it doesn't work out so well for them. They gain early access to the site, but it gets crushed as the defense is waiting for them. And it's now down to just 3 for Gen G.
But there will be more Battle Pass giveaways. I'll definitely do one for Christmas. I might do more than one for Christmas. Might do something like 5 Battle Pass giveaways for Christmas, something like that. Which is ironic, considering how much I spend on myself. I'm literally spending more on the communities that I run, like in different games, than I do on myself. But then I suppose it's all tax deductibles too, so it's different. Like any giveaway any money that I give away for like Battle Pass or whatever, it's all tax deductible, so. If it wasn't tax deductible, it would be a pretty difficult thing to do, I've got to be honest.
First full buy round coming out from Gen G. We'll see if they can get past the defense, especially when Wardell has the op in his hands.
Because at some point, this is going to literally, I'm going to be running into thousands of dollars that I have been spending on giveaways. I already have spent over $1,000 on giveaways in projects. But this will be another one of those.
Just knows the way that Wardell loves to play it. And now you've got an isolated fight with the Viper. But somehow, not that much damage dealt to Hayes. He comes out on top of the exchange.
Right, well, TSM's having a pretty good start so far.
Jet, who took the fight with him, down in the red. Now that's a nice nade coming out as that catches Sabrosa going for a deep and dark cover towards lower mid. But it looks like we're going to see a shift from Gen G. They're going to start working towards this.
When is Riot going to buff Sage?
There is a lot of utility set up from Cutler.
Or are they just going to leave her in the dirt? Because I'm pretty sure that I haven't seen Sage once in esports for a little while now. Do you think TSM are going to do good? They didn't do too well against Cloud9 yesterday, but they're doing well now. Save's here as a dog. Sage is here. Yeah, they need to fix Sage's heal. They've ruined it. I only say that not because of my own experiences, but we know like that Sage is literally not being used anymore. So I think Sage will die like it should. I mean, that's the thing. I don't want any of these agents to die. They all need to have a place in the meta. Like, don't make it too powerful. Don't make it too not powerful. You know what I mean? Why do you think Sky's coming out to add to the agent pool? But I don't know. I was a little bit surprised, honestly, at Sky. I was expecting a healer, like a proper healer, like someone who heals themselves and others, and like no stalling capabilities, like a pure healer. Because Sage isn't Sage is a weird character because she's meant to stall, but she's also meant to heal. So it's a weird thing, totally. But I was surprised when we saw Skye first, because I mean, it was obviously very exciting to see her revealed, but I was surprised. Sage needs the 100 heal back. It's either that or 75 or 80. But they definitely need to buff it. They're definitely, and the thing is, I would imagine what Riot will do is they'll buff it by like 10, 15, 20, 30%, but they're not going to go like, they're not going to completely revert it, I don't think. They try to just like tweak things rather than, you know, overhaul them. So, which is smart, to be fair. Otherwise, you don't know where you went wrong, you know? Sometimes.
Will be a 2-on-3.
Is this Genji's comeback?
Together to try to get back into this A site. Got some damage dealt to that Cypher, who's currently sitting in the cubby on long. They take out the tripwire, and they'll be moving into position to contest with player 1.
I was expecting an agent with stealth ability. Oh wow.
Unfortunately, actually does not get the kill onto Hayes. So Hayes dispatches him with the headshot and are moving inside that site. It's down to a 2 versus 2. They can't really do anything else.
I can understand that though, Viper. Well, right now TSM's gonna win this.
No utilities needed. Just walk silently, see them peek out, get the kills and the defuse to make it
because of the leaks.
I thought it was gonna be
Oh, I see what you mean.
at that point because we saw a beautiful shot there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's unfortunate with like. I don't know what I am and aren't allowed to say, so I've got to be really careful, obviously. But when you know what's happening and you see people speculating, and especially when you see people putting out leaks
Bit of a fumbled opportunity there
of
Genji is
you can, okay, put it this way, you can imagine as someone who knew exactly what was going on because of being a part of the special event or whatever, the early access event, seeing people getting some decent views talking about a new leak that's coming soon, and you know that it's nothing to do with what's actually happening. It was kind of ironic. I was just like, can't say anything, can't say nope, because no one knows yet, you know. So yeah, it's kind of funny to watch certain leaks. It wasn't funny seeing the Skye leaks. That wasn't funny. That was irritating, but it was actually the best thing was seeing someone tell me so adamantly that the next agent was going to be a Japanese agent and that I was going to ruin my channel by not covering this. And I was like, what am I meant to say here? Like, yeah, she's going to be a Japanese agent, bro. I'm telling you. Don't sleep on this info. I'm just like, I appreciate the intel.
30 seconds left.
Oh, dear.
There's that first peek coming out from drone that'll try and slow them down at least as the flashpoint came through. There's a nade right into his belly though, so he has to change positions as that paint-flooded shrapnel starts to stain his
10 seconds
interior.
left.
It's a 4-on-4 on the spike.
This is the thing, YouTubers in general and streamers, like anyone in some level of public light, you've got to be, even when like people are saying the dumbest stuff to you, sometimes it's in good faith, sometimes it's not in good faith. You've really, as a YouTuber, got to learn how to shut your mouth. And as a streamer. Like, you've got to be able to take almost every insult that comes at you without responding. Which is an interesting thing to learn how to do. Interesting thing to learn how to do. Like, you can imagine, like, what I've got to say is I'm very grateful because the majority of comments on the YouTube channel are absolute gold. They're amazing, and I appreciate everyone who writes those comments. But then you have the people who are like,
I like it though. I think
just shouldn't be watching. I like certain people saying this was a terrible video or this, that, and the other, and I'm like, you just can't respond because if you do, you just fuel it. Anyway, Does anyone? I appreciate that, Viper. Does anyone expect any Sage ever in this tournament? Not as she is right now. No. If they change her, which they will, over First Strike, because First Strike is going over so many months, whatever, then maybe. But we also have to bear in mind that Sky will be here, I would assume, in like November at least. So.
Quick shots coming out from Huynh.
I do wonder if Sky is going to be an issue for First Strike.
Genji bring us back to 3-on-3. There's the ult.
Mainly because people won't know how to play her.
They're gonna watch their flank though. They gotta keep an eye on their 6. Now Hazed is still in position.
I love that Viper is being played a lot.
That's laid down from their Killjoy.
Well, considering that I made a video about 2 months ago where she was being picked almost none of the time with Ignition. I think she had a 0% pick rate, didn't she?
Not currently alive.
And actually Breach was down there with her. So it's an interesting take to see Viper being played so much as well as Breach. Like, Breach is now seen as, you know, a very cool part of the meta, so...
They've still got Sabrosa on the flank. They've got Hazed here as well, but Wardell, watching that line miss.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Viper.
And a rare miss at that.
Jet mains will know how to use the flashes.
In a really weird position.
What, Skies?
To this B site, where now they're going to be wandering into Wardell, who's got
Tiger's so easy
to
use too.
for them. He's ready. Does he hit the clicks? There's the first one going his way. The smoke comes down.
I think Sky's flashes take a learning curve. And her Tiger, I have a feeling, is going to get buffed. I think they're going to either change the cooldown on it, or whatever it is, or they're going to make the Wolf last longer, or they're going to increase visibility with the Wolf. Because, yeah, exactly, that's the thing. Like, you can kind of get intel with the Wolf, but not really, which technically you're not meant to get intel, but this is the thing, it's just, she's such a complex character, that's basically what's going on there. Her heal is explanatory once you get used to it, but when you haven't used it before, because she doesn't heal the same way that everyone else, like Sage, for example, you click on someone and then they just automatically, you know, you basically use the Force or something to, you know, replenish their health. Sky's, the confirmation when you heal as Sky is not very intuitive to begin with. I like the Tiger better maybe with an 8-second use time, so 6. Yeah, something's got to happen with the Tiger. I don't know what it's going to be. Because as much as you can get the concussive blast with it, which is really, really, really helpful when you get that, its use can be difficult because, like, what are you meant to do? Flash them and then immediately run after them. It's like, yeah, it's difficult. They should buff her flash and Tiger's health. She gave, by the way, she have a bar like Viper. Does that mean she can use a heal to deactivate and activate? I don't think so. I can't remember though, honestly. I also didn't play her a lot. I played her like obviously more than most people have because most people haven't played her at all. But and also bear in mind when I played her, I wasn't playing against my own skill level. I was playing against Radiance. So I gotta be honest, like that event was a lot of fun, but it was also very difficult. The thing that made it easier was the people. Everyone was super accommodating of everyone else, which was really cool to see. Like, it would have been a horrible event if I had teammates who really cared about the win. Because if they really cared about the win, I would have annoyed them by accident, not meaning to. I would just by being bad, you know. But I think it's pretty obvious by now, for example, that I played with Scream, you know, seeing as I'm in his 45 kill video, where he's carrying us. He is such a good guy. Such a cool guy. Such a cool guy. Guy was just... Like, I made it very clear I wasn't a good player when we started playing, so that he wasn't, like, confused. And dude just encouraged the heck out of me. He encouraged the heck out of me. So
difficult.
like more than he had to either. Like it wasn't just like a GG. It was like go on Zakky sort of thing. Like dude was such a cool guy. Such a cool guy. Everyone was cool. But.
There's rolling thunder coming into that B
30
site,
seconds
Paranoia
left.
as well. Flashpoint in. They're not taking anything for granted. They're going to take this just as if this was a full buy coming in from TSM.
Spike planted.
And they'll get the spike down as well. Now, Sabrosa's got a good line of sight, and that's player one falling. That's a rifle.
Well, this game isn't going how last game went, is it?
Going for the Paranoia as Iman is ready. Now, there is that Killjoy.
What rank do you want to get in Valorant?
From Cutler.
All depends on like what my priorities are over the next year, over 2021 and over the end of this year. I mean, I would like to be the best, obviously, that I can be, but that all comes with time, which I'm very limited with. Like, my time is very, very, very limited.
They've actually managed to make it work. The thrifty round comes through. All will perish, but it doesn't matter. It's a
I would imagine it'd be cool to get to like diamond at some point. But to be fair, if I play customs a lot, and if that becomes a thing that makes sense, I'll probably end up starting to do ranked. I mean, at some point I plan to actually stream with other streamers, so I need to get somewhat decent. God, I love this. Yeah, bro, the Singularity sheriff, sorry, the Singularity bundle in general is such a beautiful bundle. And it was very new when the event happened, so like some people still hadn't. Some people were still new to it. The finish on that is so beautiful.
right off the bat. There's an early fight that gives both teams a different number of players remaining. It's a 4-on-4. You've got the Viper Pit again for TSM.
After this game, I am going to turn off my camera for 10 minutes, or however long it needs to be, so we can recharge it for whatever game comes after this.
This time around, he's got support. It's Cutler who's in position. The flashbang's coming up from Drone, trying to help slow things down. Look at the blast pack utilization. Shawnee flies into position.
It would be really good to know, by the way, chat, is the gameplay audio okay?
Great flash as well coming out from Drone.
Gen G aren't having a good time here, are they?
Can't really do much to survive.
Yeah, is the gameplay audio okay, or does anything to be louder?
Defense right now for TSM to put Killjoy over on A with Drone, and it works out nicely. Gen G found a gap in the armor, but it was sealed up pretty quickly by TSM. And yet again, the scoreboard very much in control by very much in control of TSM, but
A bit quiet, okay.
So, you know, if we can see Gen G get 2 or 3 more rounds on the scoreboard here at the tail end of this first half, that would actually be massive.
And even if it's the same storyline as, for example, TSM and Cloud9, even a 10-2
Is that better?
amounts to a comeback from Gen G. But so far, what I really like here from TSM is the
Okay,
rounds
cool.
where they just don't want to give any pacing to Gen G. They always push so aggressively just at that mid side, where Wardell gets a kill or 2 before he dies. And
Yeah, all you need to do, if you hear, if anything is changing,
This time, they tried to go
always
aggressively
happy to
from
adapt
the
anything.
inside on Gen G,
Just need
but
to know.
Wardell rotated from the rope side and was able to win that fight versus Win. That went for the right click with the knives and didn't pay off. The rest of them are on Eco, and he's on low HP at 2 HP right now for Win. So it's going to be very hard for Gen G to try to rotate back from ropes over to this B side.
Enemy kill.
I thought that was going to be a big collab there. Oh, now he's getting back.
Win spamming through the wall, actually gets the point back with a great transfer. It's Sabrosa who comes in and offers up some support, but it's a 3K on the round for Wardell. Probably didn't need it, even though
Bro.
received a heaping amount of damage on the round.
What am I watching right now?
Spike. But
Am I
unfortunately,
watching the same two teams that I watched last
Zakky,
match?
the weapon of choice for most players.
I mean, I get
currently.
that like it all depends on the map,
Not
but
gonna connect. And now he's trapped, trying to fight his way out of this scenario. Coming
like,
in on the flank as well because still Paranoia blow past. Nice shot onto Wardell, who was very low on HP.
you're watching your dream game that you will never have.
Paranoia going back, but it's not going to be enough. It's a little bit to the left.
I'm
and
just,
Rosa will survive. 8 rounds on the board for
I'm
TSM,
so-
2 for Gen G. We'll take a look at the buy and see what's going to happen here for
I'm
Gen
so
G.
fascinated to
Closer
see,
and closer to the tail end
I'm
of
so
this first
fascinated
half.
to see how this stuff can just go from one end to the other. I know that, like I say, it's probably just different maps and stuff.
They're gonna be on a broken buy, so they have to come up huge in this round right now for Gen.G to maybe stand a chance in the second half. You want to come up with a high morale. It's still doable to come back from a 10-2, as I just mentioned before, but just to be able to add these 2 rounds, these last 2 rounds of the half, could definitely help out. And they have 2 ultra just to gain information, pretty much more than trying to get entries with for this attacker side team. So Wardell is getting full time to be pushed back, but he's looking to trade his avenged fallen teammate, but he misses a shot, unfortunately. So that's a lot of mid control available here for Gen.G that they can split wherever they want. And because of that, you see Wardell rotate right away on Heaven's side, because you did pop your Viper's Pit for Hayes, and you can't cover Heaven. So Wardell this time has to come up huge again at Heaven's side.
What's wrong with the spline?
Getting closer and closer, inching towards the target.
What, you know what I mean? Not what's wrong, but what don't you like about it?
Line up the blades, and now Hayes hiding in that thick cloud of
I'm just hoping that they bring out more soon, more skin lines.
Target that Sean going down. Hayes is playing this one masterfully and illustrating just how brutal that ult can be. Hayes now sneaking into the site, right around the corner, and it'll come down to this. It's player 1 as that decay takes him down to 1 HP. He'll start to recuperate some of his health, but not all, as he took quite a few bullets in the side.
30 seconds left.
77 HP in 30 seconds.
This is so brutal.
Breach in Heaven, and Killjoy was spawned out, going back up those stairs to join their teammate. It's Drone and Cutler on the other side.
I have retrieved the spike.
And player 1 has picked up the spike. Now
oh no.
Straight towards them, wanting to just take the fight to their doorstep, and Drone is waiting. Player 1 tries to play peekaboo, but TSM's having none of it.
Last round.
Alright, well, this might be early, but we can change it if we need to.
Of where he actually started well, because when you saw him jiggle peek outside of his own
hey, maybe I change it.
One way in his favor,
but as of right now,
Sean didn't actually get to see him on the top of the catwalk to drop down. So he gets that first pick, and then you go back into your Viper's Pit, and you know they're going to try to push in towards you, because Sean is going to tell him exactly where you are. So as you move faster inside the pit too, he gets the second one to GMD, but he turns all the way around over onto the other side.
It looks warped in the shape of... I see.
On the ult.
I see.
So well done for him. A great hold on his side to allow his line.
Oh my gosh.
Really get the kills, and look at that, he doesn't even care anymore. Top Ryan going with the surprise attack, getting 2 kills of his own,
exactly
and getting up and going. The last 2 guys are moving inside this one side.
Player remaining.
Bruh. This is total domination.
Just blind for days there. 69 HP. Keck W in the chat. Wardell will hit the final shot of the round as it's 10-2 for
Switching
TSM.
sides.
They have a command.
This is utter domination.
But again, we have to just go back to this point, and I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead
It's playing
horse
after
or
6 though.
Scrawny's words,
Yeah, I
beating
can
a
see
dead
that.
dog, as he swears
I
at
just
it.
realized I also need to come up with the
It
title
is
for this
split, so
video
it is a
today.
defensive-sided map.
I think
We'll
I've
take a
actually...
look.
Actually, no, I might have already come up with it.
First half replay, so you can see just how things got to this point. This was an early round from Drone where he just went lights out on the site and stomped out the push. This was one of the early rounds as well that we saw from Gen.G, where it was Quinn who picked up an early kill on Wardell, grabbed the op, and then made that all possible. Here was an adjustment from TSM after we started seeing Gen.G win some rounds. Cutler shifted over to A to back up Drone. And this was Wardell also popping off in an anti-eco, finding 3 kills on the round, getting a little bit of support as he got dropped down low on HP.
And that's the thing though, right? You saw that 2K from Sean, and then we mentioned him with the 1 kill before, but I think that's it. They did such a great job containing Sean as well, not allowing him to pop off as much as we called how good he was in the first 2 maps, but that's it. I think he was stuck here at the bottom with only 3 to 5 kills, maybe even 3 kills to end that half, and those are the 3 kills that we mentioned
Spike
before.
planted.
But this time though, it's going to be TSM not letting go of
10-2 looks like somebody's getting to this place.
Inside A4 plant already, and Wardell's going to be the one pushing forward with the frenzy. A nice fault line that's going to daze Win, and Wardell goes for the kill. Counter smokes or counter flashes as well.
Let's see. Do Gen.G had the same way as TSM here? Because generally when TSM do really well, sorry, when TSM are getting destroyed, they eventually come back a little bit.
But his teammate falls at the same time. He's on a 2 versus 1. He's clutched it before, but he cannot do it this time. GMD kills him, and Gen.G gets the defuse, maybe?
They got it.
They get it.
It's going to be close, but they've certainly got it. 1.63 left on the clock as Gen.G win.
Bro, if
Must
Genji wins
win
this, that's
the
a
second
video.
half. They could not afford to give TSM that little bit of wiggle room that they had left. So
Not that
we
TSM
can see a
cares.
reaction from Genji, Spectres, and a Bulldog.
I just thought about it.
Pistols across the board for
If
TSM.
Sean
It's
comes
gonna be a
back,
softball round
Genji could win
for
this.
Genji to win.
I only say that because last time what happened was Genji dominated and Sean was dominating. So if Sean stops going 3 and
Hopefully it
12,
is, because we've seen this
Yeah.
situation, Bob, before when, you know, they only had pistols in their hands. Thankfully for TSM, though, or at least for Genji, it was Sheriffs that we had. Well, actually, Sabrosa
and
has one.
let's be
He can
honest
actually open
now,
things up right now as he's trying to
half
work
time
towards his
things
win zone.
change.
That's
So-
I think is coming from Sean, but so thankfully, the Jip has been given. They spotted Sabrosa, and the rest of them will potentially try to work towards this A side.
Oh, if you just sprayed now, you would get a collab.
Mikhail right around the corner, hiding behind that toxic wall.
No.
Jeez, Mikhail mops.
Clip.
4 kills as a flawless round.
Clip.
Mikhail barely takes any damage in the fight.
Bro.
10-4, good buddy Genji.
Pog.
Bring it back, or at
I know
least
we're on YouTube, but Pog.
But this will be that stop.
Poggers.
for TSM, and
Poggers.
full ball comes through, and it's going to be more than likely rifles across the board. We talked about this already. We haven't really seen that.
I mean-
and this would not be the round to see it anyway. As the
Well, that was a really crazy play. Yeah, I clipped it. Whilst that was a really crazy play, they did also all line up for that. Like, TSM completely lined up for it.
And the chances are going to be even
Like, they were caught so off guard.
So they had to play a bit more.
There was nothing they could do there.
Starts that way, and Hayes picks him off. But at least, oh no, not at least. Actually, it was a nice combo from a drone and to Sabrosa to get the flashpoint, force Sabrosa to get through, and more max.
Well, this isn't a good start for
14
Genji
them
in
here.
this
They lose two players
round, is
early,
it?
And Sean's already down to 9 HP. The chances look super grim here for Genji to try to take this round on this bonus.
This is why you don't stack your teammates in a high elo.
lot of weight being shifted towards A currently from TSM. Toxic.
I mean, they can
goes
afford
down.
it, but I know what you mean. Because to be fair, if Genji just has, if Genji gets enough, then they can still win this. Like, we've seen it happen. We know what's possible.
There's one around the corner. Sean is so low on HP, it's an easy kill.
Wow,
From elbow,
okay.
but
GG's on this round.
Player 1 is now the last one standing.
Oh!
TSM look really good in the first full buy round, a flawless victory. 2 players taking damage enough that you can even see it. 1 more getting scratched up as well, but it's 11 rounds on the
I feel
board.
like me
TSM
making that graphic early
trying to take things in this third map over J.
isn't unfair considering what we're seeing right now.
Standard Viper toxic screen to start things off. That's going to cover up towards a heaven and also a ramp. For them to try to utilize that, as Hayes is going to lurk around or maybe go for a fake throw that they're going to try to execute towards the A side. So that's going to keep Genji guessing for a bit. They're looking to get some mid control early in a round here with Win and with Sean, where Win's trying to move forward with that Phantom, but the fault line puts him out of position, and he's still going to push down after that and try to regain momentum for Genji. The rest of them, though, for TSM, are looking to push towards this B side, where it has to be a big play from PL1.
Bot coming back.
I might have to stand up,
Rosa picking off
do a small walk around soon because my legs are getting dead. I don't know if you can see me reshifting, but I might just do that now because I'm pretty uncomfortable right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Bring us back to even strength, but again with the
I know you can only
what
see
it
my
is,
body or my torso, I should say.
It's gonna be
But
tough for
it is what it
Drone
is.
to have much of an impact. It's all going to be in the backup from Drone. The flashes, and of course, the fault lines that come through. There they go, working their way out on the site. The cyber cage doesn't slow him down. His Wardell blows right past it. Mikhail has the presence of mind to keep his eyes on the prize. The prize being that section of Kabi back behind him. It's now a 3-on-2. TSM looking rough currently as Cutler is really going to have to do a lot of this
30
fighting.
seconds
Drone
left.
with just 11 HP takes down another target. That's Sean falling as well. That's huge, and that not only does his rifle deal damage, but as the raise, he's all
well, to be fair, anyone could win this. This one at least. Cutter's pretty low though.
Mikhail quickly picks up the frag onto Drone, goes for the tap plant, tries to bait
10
out the
seconds
play.
left.
But Cutler has to dedicate to the plant in a moment. He's still playing with that clock.
This could go.
Out his opposition, and now he goes for the dedication. No, he's baited him out.
Insane.
It's a huge play. A 5-head, 900 IQ play coming in from
TSM deserves this
Smart
dub.
At the same time, and it works out for
TSM really deserves this dub.
Winning
Like,
that
they've
one
played
for the
so
team
well
with
this
a great
game.
play display from Cutler and Drone himself. We mentioned how Drone had low HP. He still
Like,
was able to get an entry to make
Genji
the 2 versus
played
2.
really well last game,
And then he
but
went back. The only thing he had left was
you know, it's a best of 3.
aftershock, and he cleared out hell. He
So.
cleared out the possibilities of where the last player was going from. So at that
Don't
point, Cutler
overthink
had to
it.
only focus
It's my
towards
job.
heaven or towards spawn. And they know how desperate Genji is to win these rounds. They know he has to press forward.
Here we
They don't
go.
want to let TSM to get
Now
a
you can
strike
see
back
me.
forward, let alone win the round. So he knew that Mikael was going to push out, and somehow, or GMD rather, and somehow he just gets that big play from Cutler to clutch that 1 versus 1.
That is brutal. There's a nice pickup as well coming in from Wardell.
Well,
through the sign.
GG's to
There's
TSM
trades coming
for the
back
win.
in for Gen G, working with suboptimal machine guns of the sub-machine gun variety, and it's worked out for them. Now Huin's in position. There's the flashpoint through the cloud burst, making it hard to spot his target, but Wardell eventually breaks past that spiraling smoke and brings us to this point.
Player
Mikael
standing.
going
And that
in
would be
right
it.
now, but it's
GG's.
all up to Sean. Sean has been lights out all series long. He's got one target beneath, but no! The
Attacker
ball
wins.
takes the stinger and sends its recoil flying.
Big
TSM
GG's.
will walk away from the first strike open qualifiers as the number 3 seed. As
So what does that mean for Gen G?
Gen G
Does that mean that Gen
not
G's...
able to take us very far into that 3rd map? You know, the 2nd map.
So does that mean that Gen G has been
from Gen G, and they played well in the
taken
first
out
half,
from
the
first
3rd map,
strike?
but TSM looked great in the 2nd half of map number 1, and they looked really good in general on split there.
No, in the end, like I said, they did a great job for TSM on that 3rd map to really contain Sean too, not allow him to pop off, not allow him to get any kills. Even when he was trying to take mid control, when they're taking that defender side, he didn't have a chance to bring any ops at all as well on the defender side too. So as he's trying to play a little bit more aggressively towards that mid side, Sabrosa punished him, knowing that he's going to play behind that box. He's been punished that way when he was playing against NV at the same time too. So TSM just looked very strong in that whole.
Okay. Well, GG's to TSM then. Gen G 1-1, TSM 1-2. That makes sense. Next is the NA finals. Oh boy. So, I'm assuming we have more to come. What's on the official Valorant? Oh, it's this bloody thing. Why do they have the overlay? I don't get it. Anyway. Okay, Gen G versus TSM 2-1. First strike update. TSM wins. Nice. I think that's right. By the way, I love your work, Zach. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Hussein. Truly appreciate that. I will cheer for Envy. I'm assuming it's cheer, but maybe you actually meant cheer. I ain't know. That's up to you, though, my friend. I don't really have a lot of support for Envy. Not get taken out of context easily by saying stuff like that. I have a lot of support for Envy, as I do for any team, but in terms of like my specific support, mainly because I don't really know many of their players. As in, I don't know them from like interviews and media stuff, you know? So, alright, what are we calling this? TSM Gen G. That sounds about right. So what happens next?
Sean, who is just ridiculous.
This is a replay, by the way.
For Sean, as he crushed it there on
This would be a replay, my friends.
and you
Yeah,
can
and in
see
the
this-
end, it just depends what's going to happen with what's going to be the positive aspects that you could take for Gen G as well from this series, right? It shows how they could have some very big numbers and some great display of action on a map like this map here of Ascent, where when they
20 minutes cooldown, because why the hell not? Is it really a 20-minute cooldown?
one-sided too, but they were really
If it is, I'm going to turn the camera off pretty soon so that I can recharge it. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. Why not? I'm still with you, by the way. You can see I'm talking into the mic, etc. Just means that you know what's happening. You know what's happening. You know I'm still here. Even when you can't see me, like right now, you can't see me. The download was cancelled. Please try again. Okay, let's try that again then. Okay.
And that was only a few days before this started. He joined the team on Thursday of last week.
By the way, when we get subscriber / everything else opportunities, then maybe one of the first purchasers will be buying a new battery. Or, depending on how things go with Valorant Hub over this next couple weeks, maybe I'll buy a new battery with some of those funds. I'm telling you, every bit of every monies that is made from Valorant Hub goes to Valorant Hub. I would remove the black screen, but I don't really have anything interesting to show in front of the black screen. What I can do is this, though. At least that way you can see things full screen.
Stinger shot, thought maybe we'd see the map extend at that point, but you can see where the bullets go. Not really working out for him, but still, you know,
all right.
played great. I think Sean played great. Kimon did feel a little bit off the mark. Quinn was definitely lights out at times as well. Player one stepping up when necessary. There's definitely a lot to look for if you're looking at Gen G. And again, it's not like they're eliminated. They're just playing next week as a lower seed. Both of these teams will be playing next week.
Yeah, and when we talked about Hayes finally being able to play somebody like a Viper, an agent as Viper on Split, where in the better days you were looking at, for example, how
Gen G versus TSM. So what am I saying here? What's the caption?
The way that they're using the utilities as well on the defender side for TSM definitely shows that what they practiced and really came into fruition on their side for that third map. So I gotta say, TSM looked very, very strong on Split on defender side, but that's where they were able to get that comeback.
TSM takes.
But in the end, the attacker side was where we actually didn't get a chance to see if there was any improvements versus Cloud9 yesterday, because they didn't need that many rounds to play versus Gen G. So
Best of 3 versus Gen G.
Have to play Split, or if somebody chooses Split against them, moving into the first strike close qualifiers.
Well, we are going to go ahead and throw things to a break before we jump into
the finals. Let's go.
Ask you guys with something. You've seen the Nerd Street Gamers account in the Twitch page saying, hey guys, don't spam 4, it crashes my computer. I challenge you to spam 4 enough to crash that computer if you would, kind sirs and ladies. We'll be back in just a bit with the grand final.
So yeah, if this is actually a 20-minute thing, then I'll be able to hopefully recharge my battery all the way to full, which means that you won't have to have a black screen after this at all. How far are we going? 5 minutes! Well, maybe not. We'll see. Because to be fair, that timer is broken. Oh, ooh, this is awkward. This is awkward. Okay, 7 minutes, cool. You don't want to listen to their music, you want to listen to my music. Well, this isn't my music, this is Monster Cat's music, but I got permission to use it, so we out here. Incredibly close games, GG, well played to both teams. Handshake emoji. Watch the... What are we going into the finals? Yeah, why isn't it jumping? Yeah, why isn't it 20? Why is it oh. Confusion. Yeah, totally. Watch the upcoming games. So, twitch.tv/NerdStreetGamers and then youtube.com/mylink. Copy video link. Twitch. YouTube. Nerd, Street, Gamers, Twitch, Valorant, Hub, Watch Party. I think that's fair. Sorry, this can't be very fun for you to watch. I apologize. Watch the upcoming games in 10 minutes. The thing is, I'll be honest with you, I get nervous. Not nervous, but like, I do think, I have to think quite hard about what I'm tweeting and what I'm posting generally, because it's not like nobody's going to see it, you know? Like, I know that anything that I post is generally going to get, at least 1,000 people are going to see anything that I do at this point, right? So if I get a spelling error or this, that, and the other, I just don't like it. TSM takes the victory in best of 3 versus Gen G. Incredibly close games. GG, well played to both teams. Handshake. Watch the upcoming games in 10 minutes. Nursery Gamers, Twitch. Valorant Hub YouTube Watch Party. Bang. That should be okay, I think. Cool.
To say what you wanna hear, I will bite my tongue till I disappear.
Right, sorry, I'm also talking now to the giveaway winner, which you might be able to hear the tippity typing on my keyboard. Awesome. So I've tweeted, we've DM'd the winner, they've responded, so we're DMing them again. This is probably going to be the easiest giveaway that I've done so far. Mainly because the first winner contacted or replied back to me a week later, so I had to forfeit the prize within 24 hours. And the second winner was replying to me once every day, which meant it took about 4 days for me to actually send them the PayPal funds. And this person replied to me in the first few hours, which is brownie points. What are your PC specs, by the way? So I have a few different computers, but the main one that I'm using, I have a Razer laptop, but I don't use that as much anymore. The main one I'm using right now, 64 gigabytes of RAM, GTX 2070 Super, I believe. Intel i9 900K something or other. That's basically, I think that's pretty much, anyone who's like into computers, that's basically all you care about, right? Oh, and I have an SSD, something like 2 terabytes. I have a number of terabytes basically for space. So cost me a few Ks, you know, a few Gs. But I mean, heck, I bought this computer before Valorant Hub. Yeah, I bought this computer about 6 months before Valorant Hub was even started for other projects. It's quite the machine though. At some point I'll get the 3080, sorry. And potentially 128 gigs of RAM. We'll see. I mean, basically when like your whole career is based on computer stuff and stuff, you know, video editing and stuff is really intense. I appreciate that, by the way, Coyote. Yeah, you just want to invest, and I invested. Good tax deductible, tell you that much. Good tax deductible. It's a lot easier to justify purchases when they're tax deductibles, because I barely spend money on myself outside of tax deductibles. So lots of fun, lots of fun, lots of fun, lots of fun, lots of fun. I might have to go for a toilet break, by the way, at some point, either soon or during the game. I wonder how it... Oh, I see. Oh, is it Chaot? Is that how you say your name? If it's Chaot, then that's helpful to know. So who's playing now? We have Envy versus Cloud9. Okay. 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 I see you. But didn't TSM just won against Gen G? So where's that on the scoreboard? Now I'm a little confused. Chaot. Okay. That's good to know. Okay. What about you, Chaos? What are your PC specs? Well, and they get the patch before EU, probably. That's how they like to do it. They like to do it in NA first, and then generally, I think Asia, and then then EU. Hey, I would say about half of my career has been running on a potato myself, so I wouldn't feel self-conscious about it or anything like that. Are we already in it? Okay. 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 Time to take the battery back off the charger then. That's actually way better than what I started off with. I had a computer similar to that about 2 computers ago. I was using a AMD FX 6300. I was using 8GB of RAM. What did I have? I actually can't remember what the GPU was. What was my GPU back then? I actually can't remember. Wasn't very good though. Although saying that, I think it could do ray tracing, so it wasn't terrible. But maybe it could. I can't remember, to be honest with you. Don't want to say that it's not true.
Put it in a PG term, doo-dooed on them on split 13-1, which is what we'll see at some point if we get to it. But here we go, Mitch with the frenzy, kicking things off here as they make their way out onto the site. The killjoy with the opening kill, not something you say all that often. And it's a follow-up for Mitch as well. He's making the frenzy look wonderful as he continues this relentless assault. Gets spammed, and Mitch has now found 4. He wants the ace, but Shinobi says, well, come on, man, I gotta at least get 1. And his Cloud9 Blue with a really strong pistol round.
I'm impressed at how quickly they've
we say that it's unorthodox.
How quickly they went from
for the team. But when you're looking at
last game to this game.
Mitch, when he was playing at the stage before, was kind of like an entry fragger for the team too, playing sort of like a battle stage for Cloud9. So having him Like I said, using a Killjoy ability is like a turret to even spot corners to start things off before they execute. He's starting to use Killjoy a little bit more offensively than what she's mainly designed or what we think she's designed to play. But for Cloud9, the way how that started off, a big paranoia towards the garden from Shinobi just allowed the frenzy to go all out and get those entries into the fight. Cloud9 putting a foot on the ground early and dominating that pistol.
Now, to be fair, it's been a while since we've seen Mitch play the Battle Sage, and it was actually pretty common for a while as well, especially towards the early portions of the beta. We saw a lot of players playing that. We saw Scream do it at times, David P. We also saw Wardell, obviously, most notably do it. Mummy has to back off as the turret is actually doing a bit of damage there. Mummy almost falls to the turret.
If you're wondering, yes, I did just turn down the music.
Yesterday, or if not the day before. It's quite entertaining. But it's even strength currently, 4-on-4. Got 10s in this position, and there's targets on both sides of the arch.
This one's interesting because it's not. We don't have a TSM in this game. I don't feel like either of these are underdogs, so I don't really have a huge preference as to who wins.
There's a nice nade coming in.
30 seconds left.
I mean, I kind of want Cloud9 to win, I suppose, but
Food is there to gobble up 10,
player remaining.
and now Food has to worry about them pushing through. Can step into his own flames, obviously, to try and grab up that Bulldog that's waiting. He's trying to, but that rifle is being guarded as if it's made out of pure gold.
Yeah, that was
Food
pretty
has to
tough
take a straight
on
fight
Food.
with Relics. HP advantage and weapon advantage for Relics. It's 2 rounds on the board for Cloud9. They pick up the pistol in the round that follows. We'll see what Envy's able to do here as the first full buy round comes through.
Envy at this point, the way that they kind of set it up here is just trying to play it off FNS as well from how he's going to place his traps on the.
If Cloud9 wins against Envy now,
and how they want to play it too.
I feel like they're going to start being regarded as the second or best team in the world.
Nothing's been utilized.
Sorry, in NA, not in the world.
The thing is, though, for Cloud9 is you're going to see this a lot on their side. There's going to be a big combo with the Killjoy, the Omen, and also the Breach, just to try to fault line, try to keep them on their toes for the defenders to fight back against them at A, which allows somebody like Relics to really try to play that lurk mode towards that B side. Don't be surprised if every single round you see Relics just walk towards B. This time is just watching that flank.
By the way, I may go for a toilet break at some point soon.
And now that it's clear, and they haven't taken control of A side, now they start to move back and take control of 3, while Relics is still going to try to look for that rotational and lurk kill.
The Frenzy is my favorite game. What is all yours? The gun that I use the most is definitely the Spectre. So I've gotten used to it. But I do also like the Phantom. I'm too scared to buy it a lot of the time because I know that if I buy it, I'm probably going to lose it.
Killjoy no longer a threat.
So you have to be pretty confident with the Phantom or anything, or like something like that.
Mentioned this in the last series. This map feels like.
What about you, Chaos? What's your favorite gun?
Just that last possible second. Nice dash away from the jet to escape.
Just thought about it as well, Viper. You're the first person I know
that results in 2
who said that their favorite gun is the Frenzy.
Now trying to sneak over to the site just
fair enough. That makes sense.
As it comes around the corner. No, the timing at least initially worked out for the Breach, but now the time is continuing to be a problem. They may have just lost this round because they couldn't get the spike onto the site whenever we mentioned it. Time is so problematic for them.
I feel like this is going to be a close game.
No, Tens gets a little bit over eager and whiffs on the kill. It wouldn't have mattered anyway as his last target was Spawn and could have very easily just escaped. Envy gets themselves on the board. Cloud9 plays it just a little bit too slow.
You like the idea of how Tens was going to play that, though, because it's a 2 versus 1 in the end. There's no time left. He knows that the Reyna actually got the kill from Spawn side, so he was hoping to move a little bit more forward to try to catch the Reyna off position with Caboose, get that first kill, then the second one onto Food. But in the end, though, it is still going to be the timing in the favor of Envy. Literal timing as well, where you had Relics that was able to move inside the site when they were trying to force a rotate. When they tried to go for
I didn't actually see that. I saw chat was like going wild about how Tens just played. I didn't see it properly. I was doing something. Oh, he was going for a knife. Oh, that's a bit. That's a little bit, you know. I mean, they are winning, but not by that much. Like,
Damage being dealt there as well to Food, who's trying to spam through the wall. They're trying to take out that Killjoy ult. And they actually do have a player who's trapped in it. Food trying to get away, ends up getting gunned down. There's also a
okay,
narrow
Cloud9
position.
clearly have the upper hand here.
Yet again, Envy looks
Spike
soft as
planted.
Tens is popping off. It's down and out. Tens is hiding inside the
Yeah, you ain't
jungle.
wrong, Ash.
And, yeah,
Is that
there's
Ash
10
K or
finding
Ash?
4K on the round.
Hate saying people's names wrong.
Jet just way too strong for Envy as he overruns the B-side defense.
I feel so awkward when I say people's name wrong.
Towards a 7-2 scoreline. Now, there's something I want to say about Cloud9 in general. I feel like Cloud9 has always been overlooked. Despite whatever
That's what I'm
success
saying, yeah.
they may have,
I agree.
everyone looks at them as the Tens and Friends roster still.
I
It's just a
agree.
pug where Tens carries. That's all they ever see.
You go by Ash, cool.
And you know, I
Good to
kinda
know.
feel like they've done enough.
I
at
do
this
agree
point
with that
where they
though.
should have been
Like,
able to wash away
Cloud9
the
is
goals.
often
But
overlooked.
then
Like,
rounds
there's this
that,
whole
all of a sudden,
TSM
kind of
Sentinels
resurface,
rivalry,
you see
but
Tens pop off and be like, oh yeah, go Tens and Friends. Well, you know, no. When they were Tens and Friends, they managed to scrape by a few big wins, but they've been consistently performing. I think it's about time we finally give them the respect they're due.
it's pretty crazy that
On the round before getting taken
the
down
reason,
by
or one of the reasons why it's known as Tens and Friends is simply because of Tens' name. They wouldn't be able to make that motto or whatever, or that phrase if it didn't rhyme. I always find that sort of thing interesting in terms of like mass thinking or mass I don't know how to explain it. Regardless though.
Crashies waits a
Envy
little
taking
too long.
Cloud9 sorry taking it slow,
He
but
wanted to go for that peek towards the stairs,
well,
but just delayed it just a bit too long.
so Envy's gonna have to push a lot
Not really
here
doing much. You can hear the turret
because
gnawing
yeah.
right now, sending pulse after pulse of shots towards the position.
how has Envy played against TSM recently? That would be an interesting play because Cloud9 definitely dominated TSM to a certain extent, although they were also very good games. Cloud9 are clearly dominating as of right now. Obviously that changes over half time, whatever. I can't remember the last time I watched Envy versus TSM. I feel like TSM would do pretty well against them. Where's the music gone? Hold up.
His own jiggle peak.
I don't think Envy have a chance of getting 4 rounds in this half.
So just little things like that seems to work out for them. But now that Envy has much
Not the way that
to
it's
defend,
going.
This is where
No.
things started shutting for Lummy with the operator, and Crashes is going to work.
Although, maybe we're saying that too early.
2-man advantage in favor here of Envy as they fall back into sight, close the door, and have the last two players guess of where they should work things out here with Relics and Shinobi, the last two remaining.
They're going to start working their way back towards A, a recommitment towards long A. Part of that.
But then we all know that Cloud9 can sometimes just bring this stuff back.
I mean, they know.
It's
they know
unlikely
exactly
though
what's
here.
going on at this point.
A
So,
B-site retake, I feel
Cloud9's
like...
gonna have to get
Oh, sorry,
creative,
Ace...
especially when they've got 4 ults on
Where are they
the other
going?
side to fight against.
If they just planted
Omen's teleport,
A-site,
back, Hunter's Fury, and
this would be a lot
also
quicker and easier for them.
Neural Theft.
30 seconds left.
But they don't know, I
Was the fourth
suppose.
one in the scenario. More than likely, though, Envy can sit back on those. They're not going to need them, as you're going to see Cloud9 Blue wander into the A site and get greeted with a hailstorm of gunfire. They break the door first, but it's actually a play potentially.
What is
for
with the
B.
passive plays? Yeah, it's
What they
interesting.
do. Now, there is some
One
hardware
enemy
down.
remaining.
He'll have to get
10
past,
seconds left.
but he's going to start running it into
I
B.
mean, this is
Shinobi
one
at the
way
top. I don't
to
think he
win.
timed this right. Yeah, he's not going to get it. He was just a little bit too late on that push. So, yeah, there you go. At least he gets the spike down after the round ends, but he won't be able to fight for the post plant. There'll be another round on the board, though.
Envy just played it well there.
Yeah.
On what was remaining, right? Because you, like as you mentioned here, Block, when Food was pushing
I'm really
up
confused.
as that Phoenix towards that spawn side, he was basically playing the off.
Oh.
Should exactly what
For some reason, I was thinking that Cloud9 were defending. I was like, how did I confuse myself that hard?
that's still up.
That's why I looked at you like, I was looking at you like that, because I was like, did they just throw? But no, they didn't. Envy took the round. That's me being stupid.
So 4-2 right now. We have Caboose that's going to push forward and get that first frag, and they caught him off position.
Okay, so Envy do have a chance here. They do have a chance here to come back.
Mame has to back off as the paint shells land right next to him. FNS lurking in that corner.
I have a feeling that Envy is going to take this round, and then Cloud9, if they feel it within them, they're going to be able to come back from this. Because I don't think we're actually seeing anything special here, and that's not a dig. That's not a dig at Envy. I just don't think this is anything that Cloud9 can't handle. Like, based on what we've seen, you know?
Coming out towards the tail end, just making sure the crouch key is working, of course. You gotta always test it. Sometimes it requires a little bit of extra lubricant, so you put it in there and you just gotta like really, you know, put it to the test.
Yeah, as everybody in the chat for Nursery Gamers are making sure the 4 keywords. Well, here we're
yes, of course.
Spacebar keywords, right? You don't use it as often as, for example, in other games, but there are some good situations where it's very viable. Just like
some reason I hate when people teabag others.
It's all off Caboose, the way that he's off, or Mame rather, the way that he's offing so far as that open. And an early cyber case though gives Relic's position away, and is still going to continue to press forward because he just wants to try to get some sort of entry to force the rotation out of Cloud9. But he does have help from Vice this time. They can go for these pop flashes so that he can actually go through with the flash points rather, and then we can try to get a kill. But you saw the position from Mame. As soon as that smoke dissipates, Relics is in a tough corner right now.
FNS.
That was a good shot.
Looks the wrong way, and like you mentioned, the timing works out. There's the
that was a good shot.
As well. It blinds Relics a bit. In that time, Food has picked off Mitch. 10's coming through the market, though. It's a quick pickup. They've got to deal with Food, who's on the back end of this play, but Food isn't a meal. He's a snack, and he's gobbled up. So it'll be a round coming in with the spike being planted for Cloud9 Blue over on the B site. They're gonna turtle up inside the boathouse. You've got Rolling Thundered. Vice is ready to let it loose. They're starting to work their way in. You heard the Empress pop. It's all about timing currently. There's the showstopper as well. A lot of ults being potentially thrown out here on the round. There's the Rolling Thunder coming in, but it misses Caboose, who now uses the dismiss to get into position, but it's a quick shot from 10. It puts everything on the remaining 2. Curveball out of the right spot.
Oh, wow.
This time at 10's with a blind shot. It's now down to the spike diffuser. He's sticking in, and 10's with the jump shot. It's a miraculous play from 10's, and they go round again with the
this is
all thanks to the
Pog.
of their team
flipping Pog, bro.
Everything was there for Envy.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
Also, Caboose coming in with the Empress, getting the kill, and also going with the dismiss, going invisible, spawning the last 2 players in the back of the boathouse. They knew exactly where it was, and the curveball was perfect for Food. Yes, he missed the first one, but the second one still blinds 10, and 10 still kills him blindedly. And
alright, I'm gonna get a drink, chat, I'll be right back.
Oh man, most of the chances he's gonna win that one too, so what a play there from Cloud9's number 1. And 10's just puts them on their back again, or on his back, and carries them forward on a 5-3 scoreline. But it's not over yet here. Envy, they still have money. The ops still reign supreme here for the defender side, and Mitch is just looking for some control on the A. Though from that turret, they see nothing, so they're still going to try to group up here. Potentially, they try to execute towards this A side again.
10's clearing out the wine cellar. Not sure he's old enough to be doing that. I'm gonna check his ID. Food gets the first pickup on the round. Yeah, this is true. Maybe it's Cloud9 Blue at a man disadvantage currently. They're without Relics, who is their lurking Raze. An interesting role, but it does work, and we've seen it played that way on this map times in the past. There's the explode onto the site with the Jets starting things off. Stuck inside the Cloudburst, and the flashes proved to be a little bit too much for them to deal with. Caboose is around the corner, and Mummy with the backup from on high. Shinobi with the blind kill through the dark cover. Will now pop the ult to port away. Cypher is in position. Yeah, that gets canceled. So now Shinobi has to try to make it work, as Shinobi did not pick a safe position to pop that ult. Just dropped it in the middle of the site with 13 seconds left. This is the right play.
10 seconds
left.
left.
Hide in the corner and hope to God they don't clear it.
Oh, they'll chase him for sure. big shadow step, and that's too late. Food's already around the corner. I think it was
the
just
shadow
trying to...
step got screwed up. It like sent him off to the right a little bit, so he was actually visible off
Yeah.
the shadow step.
And unfortunately, like, that's something that has popped up. I saw a little bit there where people that are coming out of the shadow step, where you think you're going to aim of where he's going to come out of, he's always going to sidestep just a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. So I think that's a little bit iffy into maybe what's going on with the patches, but I'm sure it's going to be fixed very soon.
Right
Unfortunate for sure what happened there for Shinobi.
Honestly, looks like I didn't miss much, as in both teams are outperforming.
From how he stayed cool, despite them dashing into the site, he just waited for everything to dissipate from smokes, from flashes, and from paranoias to still capitalize on a couple of kills with help from Mame on top of that with the operator, who's looking for another entry into this round.
Did I miss much? Cloud9 have a broken in front of me.
Mame with a quick shot on the Mitch. It's a nice flick up as well, as it blows through his temporal lobe, but it's still a 4-on-4 as he was taken down immediately, and that's a nice little upgrade. They'll be falling back off the back of that one and trying to regroup and find an opening elsewhere. Now, Caboose has actually managed to sneak into spawn. Look at the play currently, wrapping all the way around through attacker spawn.
After this game, I'm going to take a toilet break.
Which is back towards mid though. This is
well, probably like maybe a bit more than a toilet break.
This is surprising too, because typically when you're on the flank,
I'll see what happens in between the games.
Against a killjoy. So
the game, if there's like a 10-minute countdown timer, then
more often than
I'll
not,
take the 10 minutes.
You cannot flank against a killjoy because of that turret presence. But I would love to see what
30
Caboose is
seconds
gonna
left.
do here. If Caboose times this right, it's a free kill on
You only
the
missed
end.
Omens faking 2 doubles.
Scott
Okay,
plays
fair
it
enough.
as well. It's all about the read. You've got Tens now about to expose himself to Caboose, and Caboose just takes the guaranteed kill. Going to start going back towards the B side to try and group up with the rest of the squad. They don't even need his help. As Food and FNS go big on the
Okay, well,
defense,
fair enough.
and they've now
Envy have
fallen to a
changed what I was
high score of
thinking.
5
I thought Cloud9
That's
were
just a
gonna
great
walk
job
all over
from
them, but Envy aren't letting that happen
and
anymore.
FNS. Sometimes his camera is put all
Which
the way
isn't
up to
surprising
the
because they have some of the
and
best
then
players out there.
into
Crashes,
sight.
Caboose,
But this time
FNS,
it's
Food,
decided
Mame,
to
like
go
they're
a
all
tad bit.
incredible
Give
players.
a foot or two on the left
It's just
side,
a good
and
matchup
over the
overall.
smoke That's been popped up. So when he tags somebody, Mame comes out for a kill.
Bro, I need to
Probably
shave.
3 players, but at least he did his job.
I keep playing with my
FNS
beard.
able to tag a second player on top of that, keeping Cloud9 kind of guessing, falling back a bit, and again allowing.
I mean, I don't go to clean shaven, but it's a bit too long right now.
Well done there for Caboose too, because when he saw that FNS, or sorry, that 10
Okay.
back into him,
Relics
he
is
knew
pretty
that
good with
he was
those
going to be
flicks, isn't
allowed
he?
his 2 players to also hold their
I
ground
mean, he does
on the
also
side.
have 21 health, so that's not very helpful. Oh, how do we? Oh, I was confused. I'm like, how do we have 2? I thought you were saying sup. It's a chaos from Discord. I'm like, how have we got 2 chaos here? But what's up, INR hero? What do you want me to call you, hero or? What do you go by?
Teams all across the board. They're gonna have to start going into patterns. Cloud9 flag. Nice shot coming out from Mame to pick off Vice. It's a quick flick in.
No, I'm sure you are.
Catwalk and a nice
I'm
escape
sure you
as
are from the
well.
Discord. What do we call you? That's what I'm asking.
Manages to escape. Now,
Welcome.
Tens does not have the same luck. The Killjoy ult will at least open up the defense just a bit. It's gonna
In a
send
hero.
them
Awesome.
into hell.
Welcome to the stream,
Caboose
in a hero.
is able to
I'm glad you're
back one
here.
off. He uses the dismiss to get a little closer.
We're currently watching Envy and Cloud9 basically go at each other because both of them are both destroying each other, it seems. Although Cloud9 was being really dominant at first, now Envy's winning, which I wasn't expecting.
Right before the half ends, and has a chance to potentially close things out 7-5 as the buy coming in from Cloud9 Blue is not going to be that great.
Definitely, it's going to be a broken buy.
Your voice is so relaxing, like the D-doy dude. Who's the D-doy dude? But I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and Cloud9 have an interesting economy. Cloud9 might win after the first half because it's Descender in my opinion. I think kinda. Yeah, actually I can understand that to an extent, yeah. That does make sense.
But 10 still falls early as Mame continues to reign supreme with that operator.
Like, what Ascent is really important with, same thing with Haven, I suppose. Rotations, you've got to be rotating at the right time. If you don't, you're done. Oh, daily dose of internet. Okay, fair enough. Ah, damn, hey. If my voice is anywhere near the quality of Dados, then I'm pretty happy. Yeah, no, I know Dados. I know Dados. Similar stuff to, not the exact, but similar stuff to like Life Noggin and stuff. I know him. Marshall's Cloud9 must be really disparate. Yeah, the eco's definitely been hit. Honestly though, my mic actually, I haven't done it anywhere near the effects that I plan to eventually with my mic. Like, it's a good microphone and I'm not using it to its fullest potential. I can make it sound so much better. Like, you're literally listening to the raw audio, no filters on it, which there should be. Like, you'll notice in videos, in my YouTube videos, I sound way better in my YouTube videos than I do on stream, because I put audio effects on it in videos. That was brutal. That was utter brutal. No way.
He's got to stick it, but he misses the first pulse. Had he hit that, he likely would have stopped the plant. But he's just
this game, my friends, this game.
The way they needed it to happen. There's the rolling thunder coming through, everything being
yeah, I use Premiere Pro and Audition to edit my audio in videos. But this is all straight Streamlabs, so
close things out with a nice little 3-piece at the end of the first half.
I'm only using Streamlabs. I'm not using anything. Oh, I'm using like Noise Gate, I think, and some other stuff to make it not peak too much. But you need an anti-pop. Love that mic. Hi, by the way. If it's bad, okay. So here's the thing. Either the best. I agree with you. Either it needs to go like this, and I just need to turn up my audio, or I got an anti-pop. There we go. Pop, 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 pop. But I think the audio sounds better like this because it's like it sounds more raw. But also, hi. How do I say your name? Yeah. How do I say your name? I don't want to be sorry. Sorry about your ears. How do I say your name so that I don't pronounce your name wrong?
So that nullifies things for a bit, gets a bit of information out of that, but we're playing.
So like I like to address people by their names properly, you know.
They're gonna be running it towards this A site. He's caught relics starting to fail.
But yeah, this mic is good. This mic is very good. You just need to get the right mixer with it.
And there's actually some damage being dealt elsewhere. I like the barricade coming out as the boombot comes through, but food waiting with the ghost. Quick couple of taps onto Relic's head. And it's now down to a 2-on-3. They've still got the Killjoy coming in on the backside, and we saw how good Mitch was in the pistol on attack, and he's doing it again. Not that common of a purchase, but it's working out. The swarm grenade goes down, and it's right behind the default box, but it actually doesn't go deep enough.
This is so difficult.
By the paranoia, the attempt to throw, and there's a masterfully played.
Yeah, I thought so.
From Envy, they read it right. Both players peek at the same time, and he just doesn't stand a chance.
Okay, this is an embarrassing moment, but everyone's got to have them, right? I don't actually know how to say that name that you said either. I've seen it because, I've seen it, but I know that the J, if it's like Spanish or South American, I suppose I understand the J being an H sort of thing. But is it Huaco or Hueco or? Sorry for getting your name wrong. I do apologize. Is it? Yeah. I don't want to keep guessing and getting a name wrong 1,000 times. Hueco, is it? I think. Regardless, very big welcome to the stream. I appreciate you being here.
Push potentially, but there's nobody there to attack.
Yeah, from Buenos Aires. Nice. Nice. Okay, so if I get anyone's name wrong at all ever, just correct me. So I'm going to call you Hueco at the moment.
Again,
Hueco.
In that advantageous position of picking up the early frag.
And if it's wrong, you let me know. And I'll correct myself immediately.
Can't quite get the timing right.
Thanks, PewDiePie, for teaching me some kind of Swedish accent.
Mitch trying to lay Relics with the backup certainly makes it easier. Now he hits his stride with the pistol, but at that point the damage is already too much to overcome. We're down to 2.
Player standing.
Tens is trying, but
Spike
the
planted.
Sheriff just getting out of control. It's
Right,
now
what's Vice gonna do here?
as the breach. Still
No.
has a lot of skills to work with, just decides to dive in. And FNS is there waiting.
Awesome.
To greet him. 8 rounds for Envy, but the first full buy round will be coming out.
I'm glad to hear that
from
it's fine
Blue.
like that.
And we'll see what they decide to do.
But never
Win
feel
this
uncomfortable.
snap
If I
and
say
that
your
though
name
is a
wrong or
little
whatever it
light.
might be, just let me
They're a
know.
little bit light on the cash with some, but it will be enough that they'll be able to.
So I would prefer
maybe
getting it
little
wrong a
light
few
as
times
those
and then eventually getting it right and then sticking with whatever's right rather than consistently calling you the wrong name. I gotta go at 3 AM. Yeah, that makes sense. 2 AM. You must be, I'm assuming, either in Europe or Asia area. But I appreciate you being here. You have a good rest. I will speak to you later. Have a good one. No watch party on Twitch feels bad, man. Well, we're on YouTube. No, it's gonna be once I get the restream thing down, we'll be on there. We'll be on both. Take it easy. Take it easy, Hueko. So wait, no, sorry. Take it easy, Hero. Take it easy in the Hero. Is there going to be an EU first strike? Yes. First strike is in pretty much most regions.
So let's see how Envy will attack into the site, and it starts off with a
Yeah, it's in most regions. I'll make a video at some point giving everyone like a real good information lowdown on First Strike because everyone's so confused about it. And I'm even confused about it, so I can compile all the information. But that being said, Cloud9 is destroying Envy in this round. And they kind of needed to because Envy were picking it up. Yeah, there's EU, there's...
Just a little bit of extra oomph. It's a
What did he just say?
Currently, and they're gonna try and spend whatever they can to stay in this, prevent that lead from disappearing and going.
So just while we're waiting for the next round, real quick. So you can't see this very easily, but I can, so I'll explain it. And then this isn't even for. This isn't the graphic I was looking for actually. We got that. I was trying to find the major and minor regions. Okay, so yeah, Europe, North America, Japan, Turkey, Russia, Middle East, Latin America, and Korea are all in First Strike. Oh damn, there's a lot of caps there. Zakky, look on Twitter, look. On Valorant Day Twitter.
Now though, as you said here, Bach, it's going to be a broken buy that they have for Cloud9.
This has been a week, but we have a sale patch to ship beginning 8 AM PT on Monday, November 2nd. The Americans will go first, and we'll roll out to Korea.
Mitch, in that same position.
Thanks for showing me that, Kieran.
We saw Envy try to go for this push towards B. They've actually managed to make it up towards spawn, but FNS, who's kind of hanging back, manages to get a couple of kills, and you can see them changing their plan off that. They want to go back towards A, but they're going to take their time to get there as they have to run all the way back up Catwalk. That does allow Relics to get into a better and more advantageous position.
That's later than I expected.
Relics has no idea. FNS with his big brain.
30 seconds left.
Actually,
the best of Cloud9.
Saigon showed us first. I just checked Discord.
He wants the ace.
I think, at least, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Exactly where they were and exactly where they play, because they're in the same spot.
That's later than I expected.
They're just looking to see their
But I'll mention that in tomorrow's video.
Up there, but man, FNS did a good job on that lurk play. I think for him to call, let's fake towards this B sign, and I'm going to see them.
So that actually means, by the way, that if you're from Middle East, Europe, Turkey, or CIS regions, you're likely going to see it on Tuesday. Because we all know how it works at this point. If you haven't picked out that when they say one day is actually the next day, if you're from a certain region, then I don't know what to tell you. We're gonna get it on November 3rd at like 2 o'clock in the morning, most likely. So yeah, we'll probably see it Tuesday. I hope UK see. Yeah, well, yeah, the UK will see it with Europe. So
9-7. Envy trying to take.
You're from Southwest England, yeah. You're gonna see it on Tuesday, most likely, early morning, like 3 AM, probably 4 AM. That's what I imagine. Might be wrong.
However, in the last
I think Envy is winning this round, this win. Potentially. Either that or it's going to go into an intense overtime. And then we don't know. Then I think that'd be cool. I'll instantly buy Sky.
The roster and the current roster as well, they play split quite well. So if Envy can manage to scrape together a win here over Cloud9, that'd be a huge boost, as split is going to be difficult for Cloud9.
When does this month end? October 31st.
However, we've seen really strong first halves from Envy.
So I'll probably end up doing customs.
So
maybe on the
definitely not
2nd.
a team you can just shrug aside as being like, well, we get to start on the defense. So we're fine. There is
Live
a
customs,
down.
that
That's
is.
gonna spot them out. Mitch now gets the intel. Great flash. Nice setup and a follow-up paranoia as well with the double flashpoint.
Any idea when is the explanations, but that's okay. November 2nd. Although if you're from EU or anywhere basically further east than America. Actually, no, that's not true.
Envy was able to sell that fake on that previous round. We readapted here for Cloud9.
So Asia's getting it first, then the middle of the Atlas is getting it. So 2nd to 3rd, Monday or Tuesday, depending on where you live.
And he saw 3 players there.
30
He could have
seconds
been
left.
dead to rights if a flash wasn't there. So thankfully, they're able to run that utility together and get that first kill. Make it a 5 versus 4 situation where finally they turtle back into the site where they've been such a huge anchor with this double play too.
Nowhere to run!
Position from Mitch should work out nicely. This is a
10
great
seconds
coming
left.
out from Crashies though, as Envy manages to crack into that B site despite the early
Spike
presence
planted.
from Cloud9 in mid. And now they've got the spike down as well. No ults available for anyone at this point, so it's just a game of rifles, and there's Shinobi picking up that first kill. Hot Hands does go down top stairs, coming in from Phoenix on site. They're just starting to work their way through. Tens with the read.
Zakky, could it be like very, very late Monday for you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably going to be like, I would imagine around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So most people aren't going to be playing it on Monday, or even most people will probably end up playing it like in the afternoon on Tuesday in Europe at least.
It was such a beautiful entry there for Envy to start things off too. They played against the smoke that was thrown up on sidewalk, and that recon dart gave enough position to see if there was only 1 or 2 players playing in the back of Boathouse. As they only saw Vice, that's how you saw that wide swing come in on the sidewalk, knowing that Mitch is playing somewhere out in the open of the site instead. And then the Hunter Sphere, of course, makes it perfect for them to go for a pulse plan situation. But somehow on a retake, the only thing that was really used there and that was left on a retake was Shinobi with a dark cover. And a dark cover covering the right side of the entrance just allowed Tens to move in towards that left side on that sidewalk and just dispatch everybody again. The wall bang, of course, is another thing that you don't like to see on the enemy side. But now into this round, they're just going to try to move a lot faster than they did on that previous round. They catch Cloud9 off guard, they move into B, and they get a plant where it's going to be the retake play again. But you do have alert from Crashies with this Spectre.
Out of my way.
Crashies does a little bit of work. Does take down Shinobi twice with a quick response. Oh, I like the way this ult comes through because it has a little bit more height than one might anticipate. You tried to spam through that wall and it really wouldn't work out so well for you. Tens flies in with the knives out. Yeah, that
Sorry, I'm
doesn't
tweeting.
work out well at all. Just
Yeah, same. Just going back on Twitter. Yeah, same. I'm tweeting out the release.
For it to pop, they try to get in as it's building to that final point. They fall before that can happen. They did trap one though. I guess that's something. But
Awesome.
it's gonna be.
Thanks for
around
letting me know, by the way,
before
chat. I appreciate that.
Battle continues in the second half.
But here's one of the things as well for Envy. They're able to push aggressively and explode into a site, but while they're actually clearing the site and going for a plant, FNS is still able to throw trap wires into the ground before he actually gets into a position without getting killed. So relying a lot on his team and for him to put his trap wires down there, that's big balls, and you got to give it for how he's calling it as the IGL for Envy. Because of that, when they had
Literally, I had note for 1.11, but then you saved me. You could. Yeah, Viper, that was helpful.
Trade after trade of 4 versus 4, but low HP on the defense is going to be Relic.
Chat, is this going to go into overtime?
Nice rocket coming out around the corner from Relics.
Player remaining.
Doing great work as Killjoy yet again. There's the quick peek coming out from Tens.
Is this going to go into
Fast
overtime?
faster than we've seen
Seems like propaganda.
previously,
What's
as
that?
Cloud9 stops the push dead in its tracks. And
Oh, what,
we
you
have
mean
a
you think that
zipper
it's not
forming on the scoreboard.
true?
Back and forth they go as
I
they
think it'll happen.
zigzag their way on the
I think they've had the
scoreboard.
time to do it. I mean, this is later than I
Time gonna be
expected, so...
little
Oh,
difficult
overtime to
for
be...
Envy.
Wait, what?
So, strapped for cash, they're going to have to work with pistols.
Yeah, overtime is likely to happen. I hope it does.
You've also got FNS with the Frenzy. But on the opposite
Propaganda is
side,
something where people
you've
make...
got
Yeah.
rifles for everyone. So, this would be a
Yeah,
nice
propaganda
chance
is
for
like
Cloud9
a...
to
is
tie the
media
score,
that
but also build up
influences
some money to
groups of
potentially fall
people.
back on as well.
I mean, that's not the dictionary definition, but that's what I would call it. It's always been in the form of media.
But is a little bit more further up here too.
So-
You're starting to see that Cloud9 really wants to fight back for this mid because it's been explosive for 2 rounds previously for Envy. This round though, with the shares that they have, they're just going to try to full explode towards this area where Mitch might get caught off guard. He gets dinked out of that, forced out of position, and he gets paranoid. Thank God that he was able to
This
put
is
down
such
that
a-
storm so that he's able to have some help. And also now,
This is so close. But I feel like Cloud9 can definitely keep this.
Vice trying to dodge the pulses, but it's not working out so well. Caboose goes for the heal over the distance.
That's okay, KO.
Backfires
I'm sorry if I didn't
as
get
it's
your
dispatched
point
of
correctly.
by Mitch. They're still trying to work their way onto the site, and Mitch is just anchored in the boathouse. Relics from distance. Let's get a kill onto Food.
Zakky, you watch. As soon as we do the
There you
custom,
go.
if it's...
It's actually Food who falls there in the end. Food was the one that picked up
30
the kill
seconds
on the
left.
Relics. My man Jay wanted to take the guarantee.
I like the
Go for the
confidence.
spike plant.
Spike plant.
Over on A. Got a rifle. It's all about timing. Tens is there.
I think some people might be
That's
might
a
be
real
underestimating
ballsy pick, by the way, coming in from Tens with just 15 HP.
the
Had he been prepared,
the
he
skill.
puts it down to a one-on-one,
curve.
where he actually has the HP advantage over the kill.
Can we not do the customs at
So,
night?
A little bit sketch. Could have been around.
I'll have to
potential
think
there.
about how we're going to do it.
Tens knows what he's doing far more than I do in the game.
Because I need to make everything
Only
work
have
for
a
you,
round
and I also need
worth
everything to work for
exchange.
me.
This is a big round for both teams.
Because the
That
thing
round
is
ended up
that
being a lot more costly for
even
Cloud9
though I
than
want to
it
live
should
stream
have
it a
been.
lot,
So
I've got to make
both
videos.
teams are in
Videos are
decent positions
main
here. If
priority.
they lose this,
So it basically all
their
fits
money
around
is
my
gonna be in
videos that I'm
just
making.
pieces. But even if they win it and they don't win it,
But I also need to make
easily,
sure that
their
obviously
money
you
also
can.
isn't
I
gonna
need to
be
try and work with you as well. So we'll see how it goes.
now we have one of those rare occasions that you mentioned before, Bob.
But I do plan on making the customs as helpful as possible, so there probably will be. If I can somehow,
Wielded by Mame, and it's still gonna be a kill, starting things
if I can
off.
somehow make the customs into some type of content as well, that would be really helpful. If I can use the customs for content, but I'm not really trying to show my face on VALORANT right now, so we'll see.
Vice is trying to flashpoint back. He's the one that's flashpointing to actually try to hold the push of the attack. But Food still manages to get the kill. Crash is falling right behind and to dismantle the defense actually on the B side. So a great execution from Envy at the end of the day, despite them being held back slightly and the numbers advantage that you kind of had. from
Zakky, can we do
Cloud9
it?
Spike planted.
at the crossfire set up at the market, you still have.
Yeah,
Envy did a
we'll
great
probably do
job
some other
for the
map
numbers,
customs
but
too, but
Ray
it's mainly
still
going to be
taking the upper hand
Icebox.
out of all of
I
that
think
play.
it's going to be the most demand for Icebox, so
Well, now Relics is
Mainly
the last
because of
one
ranked.
standing, just hanging on to an
but to be
up
very clear, at some point it won't just be
and he's
me.
holding it with
It
one
won't, it won't just be me running the customs at
fearing
some point. Like
that
eventually,
from any angle.
someone else will be running the
jiggle peek
customs.
from Food, not
Could you use clips from you observing it and put them? That's the thing I got.
Gets a little bit too far up
I've
before it goes to that
maybe,
little
but it's
slide on the
unlikely.
shoulder.
At least right now.
Relics able to take a nice chunk out of
Like
it.
video ideas for the channel have to be done really well. Like they're more important than any stream that I do, which I know sucks, but it's how this works. So damn, this really is going to go into overtime. So if I can find a way to make me observing customs helpful, then I will. But otherwise, I won't be able to do that, and I'll have to think of something else for videos. Besides, realistically, it's unlikely to happen a lot because there's always something to cover that's important, generally.
You've got 3 ults on both sides, so this round is likely going to have a lot
That's
of
just
action.
Oh, I appreciate that. No, I understand that. I've had the same. I've felt the same way with certain YouTubers in the past. I know how it feels.
Gap with the money situation that they have left. And Ten was trying to shoot that off, but he actually didn't shoot it on time. Or actually didn't shoot it
It all depends as well on like how big the customs get. If the customs are like, if they become a big thing, Like if they're really successful because like they're really helpful to you. Ooh, this is getting a bit interesting now. Yeah, if it becomes a big thing that people are interested in, then I'll definitely be doing videos with it. That could take a little while. The thing is I honestly don't know what's gonna happen. Like everything I do is adapting based on things that are happening. So if over say 2 months, eventually 1,000 people are watching the customs, trying to get in, then I'll probably end up doing a video with that, because if 1,000 people are watching currently, that means that there's got to be tens of thousands of people who are interested. Generally.
Thing is, never count them out. You've got relics as well with the showstopper, so there's at least some.
Like if 1,000 people are interested, generally you have at least 10 times more people than who are watching that are interested. Mainly because not everyone's able to show up at the same time.
Stacking most of their eggs towards short and mid. In fact, they're sending a lot of their resources.
That's why live streams always do worse than videos. They'll have live streams can have 10 people watching, but if that 10 people is being cycled over and over again, over say 5 hours, that ends up being hundreds of people, you know. So which I would be Viper X choice.
Because they know the money's low, so they're just gonna gamble it up towards the A. Just have one guy watching that flank or watching a B hold on by himself, and who none other than Tens right now.
I mean, to be fair, once I do my first tournament, I'll probably make a video on that, to be fair. So, and there will be small tournaments going on, so. Alright, Cloud9's having a good round. This is going to go into overtime, no doubt about it, no doubt. I mean, Cloud9 needs it to go into overtime, so, you know. It really be like that.
30 seconds left.
Crashies working his way towards the wine cellar. Cloud9 has somehow managed to get themselves to this point.
Enemy tag.
Can't quite count them out yet. We mentioned it, still possible, still certainly possible. They've managed to kind of break.
You talking with the best player in my town. Yep, this is a global game. Best player in the town don't matter.
Little they've got to bring it into the next round. So Mummy's got the op. He's going to settle himself in the corner. And his team
Don't worry, we'll settle it in customs.
Round number 24 will occur.
Oh, okay.
And the chance for overtime is certainly there. We'll take a look at the scoreboard so you can see what the buy is going to look like coming in from both teams. Losing relics towards the end. Yeah, that actually hurts. The cash, not exactly the worst, as there is money to go around. But you can see there is at least a little bit of impact as that.
You cannot oppose me, Bum Sky. All good, Ash. Take it easy. Nice seeing you here. Appreciate you. I'll be here for a little while, probably. I'm gonna take a small break in between this game and the next game. Go to toilet, etc.
I like the fact that despite them having that much money, they didn't want to try to go into this side to try to hurt the economy of Cloud9, because
like I got beef with so many people doing the classes. Unfair fights. Oh, I appreciate that, Ash. Thank you very much. That's truly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone who's here. Genuinely appreciate it. Okay, I'm not gonna cause drama. Let's not make it like yesterday. I'm happy that we don't have any, and I don't know who was and who wasn't here, who's here now, but no meat-based arguments today, so that's pretty cool.
There's that Killjoy ult.
Yo, that's something else. I'll tell you. Yo, something else.
Blocks out mid, but
alright, what's happening here?
Oh no, not like this. They got so
well, GG's Envy.
30 seconds left.
5-on-3 as they start to work their way into B. The spike's going to be
well, maybe it's early to say that. Nope, it's not early at all. It was early, but now it's done. You're a different breed. You know my insults on the back, my meat insults on the back. Well, like I say, I was impressed at the fact that y'all managed to. I was impressed that y'all managed to go for 10 minutes trash talking each other without actually saying anything bad to each other. That was pretty impressive. So GG's to Envy on that. Now Cloud9 has to show what they're made of.
presented by NSG. You know that these guys.
And then we'll see what happens from there.
Everybody talks about it's just for seeding or whatnot. I'm saying it's for the bragging rights. It's for the NA ranking.
Oh, I need to go to the
They're
toilet.
definitely here to
I've
play.
been waiting too long.
They're a team to look out
Right,
for.
I am going to go off, not offline. What was I going to say? Offline? No, I'm going to turn the camera off. I must be the only person who streams that turns their camera off in between games. It is what it is. Right, I'm going to have a quick toilet break. And I'll be back in 5-10 minutes.
They could definitely make it into that top 3 as well in that type of discussion.
I mean, people have said, like, oh, you know, it's just for seeding at this point. It doesn't really matter. Dude, it doesn't matter if you're playing for $100,000 or a lollipop. You know,
I was just trying to think, which do I want to go full screen or half screen? I think full screen is fine. I'll be right back.
So,
Still here, still here. Don't you worry.
Fought hard for it. They went back and forth, but now we get to switch
Just
to a map that Envy
turn the
is
camera
very
off to get
comfortable
that
on, and
battery
that's
going, you know.
territory for Cloud9 to find themselves already facing a 0-1 scoreboard.
Alright,
When we
I
return
will
from the
be
break,
back
we'll
in
be
a minute or
jumping
two.
into Split. Stay tuned.
We're losing him? What do you want to do?
And welcome back, boys and girls, as we get ready to jump into map number 2 in the series here, the grand finals of the Open Qualifiers, a fight for the #1 seed. As the First Strike Open Qualifiers presented by Nerd Street Gamers continues, my name is Bach. Joining me on the broadcast is Vansili. Envy just picked up a big win, 13-11 over Cloud9 on Ascent, Cloud9's pick, and now we move into familiar territory for Envy as we jump on over to Split. That's a little bit scary.
Definitely scary at that point too. I think if we have to look at the cornplate, we have to see who will be able to start off here on the defender side. But I think if we actually need to go to a third map on Split, that is, I would hope that Cloud9 is able to take that defender side. But when you're looking at the best out of 3 overall, Cloud9 picked Ascent, and then you're moving into Split. And then it's like, oh man, what's going to happen at this point? Actually, sorry, if it goes to a third map, it's Bind. So it's going to go to Split no matter what here. And if we see, we need to go to Bind if we need to. But Split at this point, if it's picked by Envy, definitely Cloud9 now is going to play that defender side where they had a strong showing versus TSM to be able to get a 10-2 lead into that first half, where things started to slow down when it took the attacker side, and then TSM starting to catch up, and eventually Cloud9 won that 13-11 on that last and final round. So to show a team that's a lot more prepared for Envy,
no one asked me any
looking at
questions,
how
so
this
that's
best out of 3 is going, it's looking to be for Envy. At least
I'm gonna give it like
because even
I'm gonna give it
Bind was a map that
basically until the game starts, and then I'll open my camera back up.
First qualifier tournament.
How is everyone?
Had to play versus TSM because
How are you,
TSM
my
had the higher
friends?
seed, and then they banned Haven versus Cloud9, therefore leaving Bind into that map rotation where TSM picked it up. Yes, it was a close matchup, but TSM still ended up winning that game. So when you're looking at how deep this series is going in this best out of 3, you could definitely give it to some chances to Envy at this point.
Now, I did get an urgent text message here. It just came through on my watch. It's from the CEO of Nerd Street Gamers. It says here, tell the chat to stop spamming 4. They're crashing the stream. Please don't spam 4 anymore in the chat.
Chat,
Guys,
spam 4 for a second.
Apparently you can't spam 4. Don't do it. Okay?
Man, that lettering is small into your watch here, Block, because you were able to read a lot on that smartwatch.
Yeah, it's actually a very pixel dense screen. You know, it's like 1,000 PPI or whatever it is. You know, I can read a lot. I get really high def pictures on there as well. The second map, looking at Split.
You guys are dope.
Envy can be on it, and they're coming in now off a big win. We saw
y'all delivered.
That first map, but it was a collective effort.
The goat.
Look at the stats, you can really see.
By the way, happy Halloween. Oh yeah, midnight. Happy Halloween.
With the average combat score, when you look at the KDA in general.
Wait, is that actually YouTube telling to take a break? That's crazy. 13
for the bottom. It's a lot different.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
23 kills.
Happy Halloween.
Shinobi and Vice rounded out the bottom of the scoreboard with 11.
Oh damn it! I'm not going to be streaming on Halloween.
Is actually huge on the other side, and that's typically been a problem in the past for Cloud9, where Tens has had to carry that workload a little bit.
I forgot about the fact that it's Halloween tomorrow, even though I've been doing a Halloween giveaway and all that stuff. The thing is, those are like just dates to me at this point. It's not necessarily the event that I'm thinking about. But happy Spooktober.
As we're getting ready to start here this second map in this best out of 3.
I'm gonna have to start working on Christmas content soon.
And now at this point, we're gonna have to see if Cloud9 has what it takes
to
fight against Envy, who has looked very good here on this map, who looked pretty much unstoppable at some point too, where they had a big win versus Gen G yesterday. So to start things off there, we will have for sure Cloud9 on the defender side.
Oh, okay. Well, we're starting.
And Envy on the attacker side with the fault line.
Alright, chat. Because I know of how accepting you are, I'm going to leave the camera off for a few rounds because I wanted to fully charge. And I know that you won't be too upset with me, hopefully. Do you think we'll get Christmas gun skins? I hope so. The issue is I don't know what Riot's team is like in terms of the resources they have with skins. I don't know what they dedicated to it, so I don't know what they can and can't do.
Caboose sends his boombot in. Relics responds with a boombot of his own.
Because they have to prioritize, you know.
Very slow.
Can you full screen? Oh, thank you for saying something. Thank you.
Nothing's really happened as of yet.
Easy to forget the stuff sometimes. Mainly because I'm still new at this.
No one's even really shot a bullet as of yet. They're gonna start going back towards B, and this would
but we'll figure it out.
Misread from Envy.
So chat, who's gonna win this game?
Are right now for Cloud9. You can see
I mean, obviously no one knows, but
Reyna right by their side. Breach and Omen in sight, ready with the paranoia. There's the paranoia
30
coming through.
seconds
It's
left.
a great read coming from the line as they crush this push right off the
By black
bat.
box, that's where my face
52
cam's meant to be.
members are like, yeah,
It'll be back in
not having any of it.
a few minutes.
To go in and play tricks with the port. The shadow step doesn't come through. Tens gets a 3K on the round. Shifting
Okay.
roles from
I'm gonna
Jet
just
to
put the face
Reyna.
cam on.
It's Cloud9 Blue who come out
Hopefully it
big
doesn't
with
die.
pistol.
Yeah, Envy right now, when they play their attacker side on split, they like to take a little bit of mythical to start things off. And then they always have like a 3-man team trying to work an entry somewhere. So we saw that at the beginning towards that A side.
Gotta focus this thing, you know.
You have Mitch playing as that kill
What's good,
scorer,
everyone?
all of his utilities
How's it going?
towards that A site, where they're comfortable
Welcome,
with
Charlie.
trying to just stack up all the way towards the other side, play the numbers, and
Dude,
put
a
that
bit up
dogfight
is hidden.
all on that B side and play retake on A if need be. Now, if the turret or
What do you mean?
the alarm bot spotted a few, the Nanostorm is going to hold them a little bit longer, and then they're going to.
Who do I support?
Now, Envy walks into a trap.
Ah, it's a difficult question.
And now into this trap.
I like both, obviously, but for some reason I can't really explain right now. I'm interested in seeing what Cloud9 does.
And Vice also hold their ground.
But then Envy is also
So not the greatest start for Envy, but
Envy was also
okay,
good.
This is the attack side of split, and we already
Zakky, will you
drove
pick
that
people
home
for the
pretty
customs?
aggressively
Yeah, of course.
in our first series
I'm still
earlier.
figuring out how I want to do that as well,
They did
to
also
make sure
lose
that
the
like
pistol
everything works properly.
after a
I.e.
double
that,
roll
you know,
with
we
a
have
nice stack towards B. Worked out really nicely for Cloud9. Could have been a gambler, could have just been a good
we have
read.
like
Either way, we'll see the first buy come in for Envy. It's
just so that we
right
can make sure the
across
environment's
board,
good,
but we still
basically.
got the Diet Rifle for Relics.
You like
We
100
also see the
Thieves?
Diet Rifle,
Oh, I
like
see what you mean. I thought you meant in this specific game right here. Overall, yeah, I'm rooting for 100 Thieves a lot. I want to see their lineup do well, because this is still so early on, especially compared to a lot of these teams like TSM and Sentinels who formed at the start of VALORANT pretty much. I do want to see 100 Thieves do.
Well, we'll start things off here with Caboose trying to get some sort of entry.
I think they just need time.
Presence, but there's 3
I think that's the main thing.
Just trying to work off a flashpoint later on, but want to peek out first. The first kill onto Mame.
Cloud9 won split yesterday, right?
And they all fall back out of that one.
Starting to feel like Cloud9 might be. I mean, I know it's very early on, but it might be their map.
And then go for some execution in the end.
Just make a custom game channel on your Discord. Yeah, so that's all the stuff I'm gonna have to figure out in the next week, basically. Roles and moderation and stuff. Lots of stuff to look at.
Well, we'll dismiss away just in case there's another looming threat, but there's not. It's now down to 2. It's Envy.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure stuff out like time and
Where Tens has changed positions.
30
nice
seconds
shot
left.
coming out from
mainly
FNS,
time
though.
zones
A
and
quick
stuff.
Flick over. And in the meantime, Crashies took care of the alarm bot and snuck his way up into heaven as well. With 22 seconds left.
But no, I can't wait. It's gonna be. I'm hoping it's gonna be really helpful. That's the main thing. I just want it to be helpful for people, so I'm gonna ask for a lot of feedback on that.
10 seconds
Paranoia
left.
goes a little bit too high, goes over the head.
Yeah, Cloud9 has definitely been doing well on split.
They go through the head. 3-0, the start for Cloud9 Blue on the defensive side of split.
So as you said here, Tens is currently feeling it on this second map. They definitely want to bring this to a third one onto Vine. And the off angles that he's playing so far as that Reyna pays
And if I
off.
remember correctly, actually, Cloud9 started with like a.
On top of B Heaven. Even going for a hat trick was good enough. to just give that
Because one game that they played yesterday, they were going 9-0 against TSM. I think it was split, so they must have a lot of confidence on split now.
Have wasted enough of their time as well for Envy, where they had to be desperate with
You know what,
their
I'm also
second
hyped for all the YouTubers from NA making videos about Scarmander. To be fair, I'll probably just report on gameplay, so see if we can get a top 5 Sky plays.
Couldn't get any spike plants down either to add that 300 credits on each round.
Boost a little slow on the flick over. Tens had all the time in the world for that kill.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. The Sky has a lot of interest, and I think the fact that they had to roll back the patch is actually increasing that interest now, because now you know about it, like, and you've known about it for a couple of weeks now. I'm pretty sure. So, and you haven't. Most of you haven't played her, have you? So, I can totally understand the hype. I just want to learn more about her. I will learn a lot more about her lore-wise. She's an interesting character.
don't even get a hard
Damn.
clear.
Cloud9 are just doing it.
Okay on the round. 4 rounds in and Tens is
Yeah,
on the
of course.
And Vice is just doing a great job to set things up here for his teammates too. So utility that they have right now for Cloud9.
Yeah,
they're
definitely needs to
using
top moments on that.
very, very well to actually continue these double setups, where it's actually enabling Tens to continue to get these first kills. And as you see right now, they're actually changing things up. They put a turret up on that mid side, and they're gonna play that so they could take more control.
Yeah, everyone's gonna want to play Skye. Everyone's gonna want to play Skye when she first comes out. I'll honestly be fine with just letting people pick her. You know what I mean?
Because of that smoke, they're gonna have to slow things down for a bit. But we're not falling back here for Cloud9. We still want to fight against them. And that's because Shinobi play on the other side of the cyber game, so the audio is never heard. They never check that corner, and Shinobi, big brain play.
Cloud9 really have this map down, don't they?
Gets
They
into
really
an
have this
awkward
map down.
exchange with the defense. The flashes are on point as well, causing a slowdown and delay for Envy. You can see over on the A site, Relic's blast packs away from the threat. That's
How is
around
the audio,
corner.
by the way?
We've still got Tens up in heaven, currently waiting in a really difficult spot though. Puts a lot of pressure on Shinobi. Shinobi has to go big to watch the play coming up from ropes to give him the backup he needs. So Shinobi gets the first, and Shinobi finds the second. That's exactly what Tens needed. It's the backup he was relying on. First Lear's out, second Lear out as well. Mummy's stuck in the corner.
Awesome to know.
But he doesn't have any. Everyone's dead, and Shinobi finds a 4K. You know, Shinobi's not exactly a player that gets much love when it comes to the stats. Gets a lot of hate from the community as a result, but he'll find a nice little 4K here, and Cloud9 can continue to cement themselves in this first half with a 5-0 scoreline. 9-2 for Shinobi. Solid work coming in from the in-game leader.
Tens is being such a thorn on the side of Envy right now. Wherever he is, they're just walking into him, and he continues to get those kills. Already now, after 5 rounds, he's 11-1-3. So at that time, they try to clear out the A ramp to try to take down Tens, while Shinobi's still playing on the heaven side across.
When Overwatch released a new hero, there was a game mode when everyone can play them. Yeah, I think Riot needs to work on like when Icebox came out, I put out a poll about asking if you feel like you play Icebox enough based on map rotation algorithms, and most people are not happy with it. So they did say that they increased the map chance, but
Tens on site playing ring around the Rosie. It's Rope-a-Dope currently coming.
so I was expecting to see Icebox probably like a 35% to 40% map chance, which with 5 maps, that's the majority percentage.
The 2 top performers both died in the round. It's still a win for Cloud9 Blue. Envy may have found success.
I'm just interested to see what the meta discussion is when she comes. That's going to be really interesting. I expect a lot of videos on that. There's going to be a lot of videos on that.
So they desperately need to pick up a round.
Because people are going to be talking a lot about her. Thinking a lot about
I
her.
worry what would happen if we moved into that third map, if they came off the back of like a huge blowout.
And the thing is here, Bach, the ones that are supposed to put up numbers for Envy as well are currently still fragmented. They're 0-6 after losing at Monday. Now the Blade Storms are coming out too. The Relics continue.
I haven't played Icebox for 1 week. Damn. Yeah, it still feels like even having played extra Icebox before, I still feel like I've played a lack of Icebox.
Yeah, they were.
I really do enjoy the map.
They couldn't get anything out of it. 2 of them are 0-7 right now.
It's like
0-7, by the way. But
it feels like a proper Valorant map. Like the others feel good too, but it distinguishes it. Even if I do get destroyed on it sometimes, like I only played it once and I got that's the worst thing, right? It's when you like a map and you feel like you don't get enough of it, and then someone goes AFK and the match doesn't start, and then you go to a different map. It's the worst.
0 death game with 7 assists is pretty unlikely.
I'm doo-doo rank. I don't play ranked, but I think I might play
the top performers struggling
ranked this act.
I don't know if you even caught it. They tried to go for that explode.
I know that if I stream with anyone else, that they're gonna want to play ranked. So.
Just got legged by an op.
What rank are you?
It slowed him down and it ruined the play. He was down to 30 HP. That's why he died so quickly. Couldn't even fire off the rocket.
I just thought about it. Like I'm on autopilot here. Cloud9 are going 7-0. What is going on right
Gonna
now?
have to make something happen.
Yeah.
Sure.
Plat
They
1,
spotted
nice.
Shinobi in the early part of the round.
Yeah, you'd probably
after
destroy me.
losing their jet. But now what?
Although I can have my good games, to be fair.
That's what I mean, right, Buck? He lost that 1 versus 1 to Shinobi when he had an op-2.
But hey,
Now it's
I'm
gonna
sure
go ahead
I'm
and
sure people are going to
exploding.
learn how I play with customs.
Nice cancel from Mitch as he stops that from happening. Takes down another target too as he goes for 180. The turret making it look easy right now.
30
The
seconds
last
left.
remaining member is Food in mid, and well, he's not really playing with the rest of the team. He was playing back off the play. He's gonna leap his way through the ropes and try to make it up to heaven in time to try and make something happen. But with limited time left on the clock, his options are limited and gets caught going for a smoke as Tens peeks the corner. Empress
What was the
utilized,
previous
so that
score?
results in a cooldown.
Envy won the last game.
Tens left to build that ult back up, but at this point,
Don't you
it's
like when
8-0.
Breach takes a spike?
So I don't think he really cares if he has his ult or not. And we'll take a look at the scoreboard and continue to see just the problems that have plagued Envy in this first half. They're going to relate to a lack of performance from some of their best players,
Make it a
Mummy
drop.
and Caboose.
Thanks.
0 and 8 on both of them. 15 and 2 for Tens, 12 and 2 for Shinobi. 27
What is good
kills
music? How you
between
doing?
two players. In 8 rounds.
Good to see you.
It's absurd.
Exactly. That's the story there. It was just like, it's not necessarily them not letting their shots do, but it's just look at that. It's how it's being set up. It's a flash point that's coming through from Vice. Tens comes out, gets 2 kills. Finally, Caboose gets his first 2 points on the scoreboard, but it's just how Cloud9 are trying to
player
manage the group
remaining.
right now and enabling their players
I
to
know
get things
exactly
done. But
when.
suddenly, as I say that, we have FNS that's coming through on a 2 versus 2.
Oh, is this Envy's first round?
Goes to the 360, a nice little casual 360.
Oh my gosh, they are not accepting. He doesn't want to accept
As you can see,
one round.
target being blasted away. Look at the damage being dealt though. Relics has this one
Reload, please.
very much under his control. The blast pack down just goes out deep. Relics in the same position and ooh, Caboose! Great round
I'm
coming out.
gonna
from
have to
Caboose.
say that should have
As
pre-fired
Caboose
there,
finally
but
wakes
unfortunate.
up, the sleeping giant gets
Do I
onto
have to
the
attach life to
scoreboard.
this? I'm good, and also guessing I missed the entire game. Yeah, there's been a few games, but it's going good at the moment. It's going very good.
Great round from Caboose, a 3K.
Although, as you can
That's the
see,
first
Envy
first
ain't
kill
having a
from
great
Caboose.
time. But
It's a bit
Envy
disappointing.
did very well
And
against
they're gonna
Cloud9
need a
last game, so
Herculean
towards the end.
performance similar to that
I think
for the
this is just
remainder of
Cloud9's
this
map
first
at this
half to try to
point.
keep it even close.
Hey, man, you
Yeah,
gotta
we're at the
start somewhere,
13-0.
so be able to start with
But
a
hey,
lead
that like
and
in a way,
also
I'm
1
happy about
versus
that because
1, to
it
win
wouldn't
that
be nice
point
being
zone
30-0'd.
and
Like,
on the back of a thrifty round when they had 2 share shots and 2 frenzy kills from FNS to even it to a 2 versus 2 and make it a 1 versus 1 in the end. To even be able to dodge Relix's showstopper on that 1 versus 1 and still win it. That starts that confidence right now that Envy needs, and you hope that they continue it off that back and off that effort from FNS and from Caboose. And so far, though, they've taken a lot of map control and also towards his ace side, but the ultimate here from Shinobi is going to give that tell that they are trying to work towards his ace side. But
I
they
think it's
still
true till the
have 3
second half
players there.
starts.
So
With
that's
how
why
much
nobody's
about
rotating yet.
actually
And
happened.
finally, the explosion's going to come in from Envy.
Relics on site. He's got some backup.
Yeah, I suppose that's one advantage I have a little bit. The my main issue is my aim. I'm not mechanically inclined at the moment. I just gotta train more. But no, I definitely, with how much like esports I've covered,
Just a bit.
I know roughly how at least the pro meta plays.
Got
So
targets waiting around the corner. Mitch starting to come through.
I definitely had an advantage with
Goes ahead and
Icebox
drops the ult.
though.
There's the showstopper, but he prevents the
Like I know
rocket
that
from coming out.
map well.
Yet again, Caboose
Imagine why I would know that map very well. I didn't, make about 3 videos covering every inch of it. So yeah, that's kind of OP. Really early in the morning.
But gets the rocket off. He could have prevented the ult from coming.
Yeah, really early in the morning.
Had Mitch put it down first, but the way
I
that
think.
it all comes
I would
together,
imagine. I mean, that's not confirmed, but that's just how I would imagine it goes based on what we've seen before. Yeah, what is good, Archie? How you doing?
Unwinnable position.
So difficult.
Thanks for joining us. Yike's probably gonna have to look at the highlights for that.
He's not getting any kills so far.
No, don't worry about that. There's gonna be plenty of highlights.
When they had a 4 versus 2 and their teammates are slowly falling behind. That's just off a great fight from Mitch. him breaking that trap wire and punting.
Nah, I'm just saying.
I thought at that point you're just playing for exits and trying to hurt the economy.
Definitely gave me a. I mean, not just that. In fact, regardless of the looking through the map, just playing like my first experience playing was playing with like Radiants basically mainly. So I got obliterated, but I also learned their tactics at least, or some of them obviously.
That's a little awkward as the fight doesn't really work out well for Cloud9. Thought for sure
that wasn't what they were hoping for, I don't think.
Ran through the dark cover straight into a double setup, but we still come down to a 3-on-3. Minute and 5 left on the clock.
So chat, who's gonna win this?
Work their way back towards heaven. You've got Breach currently sitting in hell.
Yeah, big info.
Waiting at the bottom
Yeah.
of that rope.
I don't play ranked, so I'll probably end up playing ranked this act. But I don't. The thing is, I do not play this game very much at all. Like when I say that, I mean compared to people who do play it a lot. So like, I'll probably play an hour or two on a big day of Valorant. I'll play like 3.5 hours for, but that's very rare. So, and I come from Fortnite in terms of PC. I was on controller before, so you can see where that would go. But I do have some knowledge in terms of like meta and stuff. And I have been on PC for like 2 years now, so I'm not terrible. It's just that I couldn't stack up against Radiants any day. Yeah. Envy could do anything. Like no lie, Envy could do anything. And if they come back from this, that is a video 1000%. And I'm very specific about what I make videos about. Even so, it's a hard game to go. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And also, I don't really play with a party very often, so there's only so much teamwork, you know.
Looking to explode towards his B side, where once again there's 3 players there, and another time it's going to be Tens just around the corner, waiting to dispatch him.
Get out of my way.
There's the rolling thunder popped as they try to make their way out.
Wow.
Somehow Mummy is able to make that one work. And there's still
Relic.
Cloud9 fires back just like that. It's all down to FNS. And a large part of that is the Empress ult coming.
What am I watching? Cloud9 are dominating. Envy isn't even playing terribly. It's just Cloud9 are in the zone right now.
On the defense.
GG's to both, even so. Cloud9 going off. Relics, I'm very interested in the other, you know, because Tens obviously is already very popular on Twitch and stuff, but I've been super impressed by Cloud9, like everyone in it. Yeah, I'm struggling with the team too because some players get matched. Yeah, I mean honestly, I think it's actually easier as well. I think it's easier to play with if a team works with you. You're better off playing. Well, I'm better off playing a team that works with me in terms of communication and stuff.
Cloud9 was making
compared to necessarily how good they are. Because if you're playing with players who are obviously toxic or just not working together and stuff, whole plan goes to poop. But I know what you mean. Yeah, you're right, Music. Totally. But hey, Envy's got this round looking like, you know. Bro, I swear, if Cloud9 lets them come back now, and then they you know top off at the very end, this is literally just a more extreme version of TSM of the match they played yesterday.
So now with the spike down 2, they have the numbers advantage to just focus onto this side, and they're even playing it safe on top of that, just putting that smoke down, run that clock off, and then eventually just get the round into your side. But Tens says he doesn't want to be done with it yet. He's looking for an entry with his frenzy. He's pre-firing first, and they're retaliating back. But finally, he manages to escape. But it's just going to be a matter of time before it's over, and it's just well placed how they
30 seconds left.
The trap wires on top of that to catch them.
I never watched. I know how big it is. It's pretty good too. But I was never really into CS too much, to be honest, before Valorant, which was definitely a learning curve going into Valorant, having zero or very little CS experience. been very interesting.
I don't think I've
seconds
ever
left.
gotten a kill with the frenzy from
player
more than like
remaining.
2 feet away, and he's making it look easy as he hits a dink shot as well on that last target.
Yeah, the
before
glitch pop
eventually falling. I
skins in
this
general
as well,
are
going to the
awesome.
board pickup. It doesn't really work out so well for Envy as Mummy tries to dash in. Vice is just looking to maybe get another kill or two. And almost
Yeah,
did.
I swear, if Cloud9
Pick up
let them
this
come up
round
to say
that
like
they
10 points or
absolutely
something,
needed to find. And now they'll
that
move
would
into the
be,
next round
that would
with
be fascinating.
a little bit of oomph, but look at this. Cloud9 has 0 chill. Tens has gone straight to a Bulldog purchase. He's saying, nah, let's put him in their grave right now. We're going to go for the buy here, and we're going to make this happen. I think Vice dropped the rifle over to 10 so he could buy full armor to back it up. I like this. I respect the style coming in from Cloud9.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you going into VALORANT thing with 0 CS knowledge. It's a hard game to learn. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely doable, especially if you have game sense from other. Yeah, I know what you meant. Don't worry. Yeah, especially if you have game sense from previous games, which I've been a gamer, especially in first-person shooter and third-person shooters, at least half of my life now. So I know roughly like what to do and stuff. It's just yeah, the mechanics. But good, the good thing is mechanics will just take time. So I'm enjoying learning it, to be honest.
Mummy, sitting up in the mailroom, tries to deliver a bullet to the skull of the members of Cloud9 trying to work their way into mid. This is a very slow, patient play, for Cloud9. They peek their heads out, and they spot that first target.
Okay.
Now they know the jig is up. They realize that this is a force buy coming out from them. The
This is going to turn out very interesting.
Also delays them just a bit. The Boombot, though,
Oh,
is
okay.
gonna
Well,
trace his position, and just like that, they've gained
that's
up.
that.
Nate goes down.
Vice.
Quick shot coming out from Vice. Tens with
That
the
headshot
goal,
from
but
Vice,
they're
though.
12 rounds now on the
Can't
board
wait to get
for
Sky's
Cloud9.
Francis.
Match
Envy.
point.
Just every time they get an opportunity to try and put their foot in the door, Cloud9 slams it shut and slices their toes off.
I have a video from this, I think, or more than one video, because I was just going to show the highlights, but Cloud9 really know how to play this map, it seems. I mean, I want to see more of them on it, but every time that they've played Split against other tier 1 teams, they are dominating.
Unfortunately, you didn't dispatch of it. And that just opened things up there for Cloud9 to take that round and secure that round quite convincingly.
What you mean, Cloud? I was just thinking about when you said mistakes. I'm like, in fairness, we have seen Cloud9 be at like match point basically, and then the other team just racks up 8 points or something.
Relics is going to send that Boombot out hunting, and
But today's video is actually about Cloud9 and TSM, so
Cloud9
it'll be uploaded straight after the stream.
working their way into the mailroom. They've got Caboose waiting on the other side, and we know how good his sheriff can be. We saw it as it picked up the only round that Envy was able to win in that.
Oh, they know now. They know.
He falls off the ledge, whether accidental or not, it's going to impact the round. He tries to blast pack his way, and he'll boost himself up like an elevator onto the balcony. But Cloud9 is playing this one so incredibly slow. And they're going to be taking it back towards the A site where we've got 2 defenders currently,
30
but one
seconds
starting
left.
to sneak in that direction. That'll be Cypher. That should be FNS. So you've got Envy and a couple of players grouping up towards this A site, ready for the explosion that's about to come their way. There's the Lear through. Food steps into the dark cover, doesn't work out so well.
10
Just
seconds
misses in.
left.
The flying
One
kill
enemy
coming out from
remaining.
Crashies, who's found another. And now it's all up to Mitch, who gets taken down on the back lines. Envy stay alive. The question is, can they continue this, and for how long?
You definitely got to thank Mummy on that last round. The first kill that he gets is actually against Vice. So despite them actually having such a low buy on that force,
As much as I'm up for a Cloud9 win, I'm happy that Envy got that round, because 13-2 would have been really upsetting.
One player with a stinger,
But then,
one player with a sheriff. So making sure that
C9 usually does well on Split and a set, not so sure about the other one. I think
if Cloud9
That might be true,
still
but I
had
think
Vice alive to help them
Cloud9 lost to
in
Envy
last
on
game.
Ascent just now
So
before
because of that, they
this
basically
game.
just ran into the side after
But it
getting
wasn't.
the
It was a
bags
pretty
of,
close match, to be fair,
relics.
to a certain
He
extent.
was able to get those bags
Sometimes
down
if
right
you
after,
nearly win it,
so
yeah, I'm in the UK.
thankfully off of that, it's gonna
I
be
ain't
around
saying that
7
unless they pay me.
and it's like a mix of Cloud9 with Envy.
How do I know you're not working for them?
A trade back, but it's Envy who comes out in the favorable portion of
I
the
see your
exchange.
plans. Join the Discord server. Be active.
Breach, very low on
And then make the
HP.
ask. Okay, good.
Cloud9 trying to work their way away from that. So they lick their wounds early and they'll fall back. Envy controls the early round, but not by a whole lot. Sure,
Yeah, I
you can
mean,
breach, but we've seen
We've already had a
some
few
players make some big plays in the past. Dark cover
options,
coming
but
in, which could actually be beneficial.
it's got to be at the right time. But yeah, you're
That
right.
could allow Cloud9 to move across ramp and
There's a lot of
get into
sponsors
heaven
out there.
and do what they're doing right now and just kind of hurdle up. Or huddle up, excuse me, inside the cover. There's the flashpoint.
I don't know, are you?
Crashy's just right around the corner. and
Okay, what's
that's
happening
Spike
here?
getting picked off.
Is Cloud9
Yes,
doing a
there's
TSM
25
again?
seconds left. They need to make a move. Relics with a nice shot at least onto Crashy's, but you've still got food lurking on the site. A threat that is yet to be dealt with.
You know what? I actually respect it though.
Through the wall, but even Relics
I respect
managed
it
to finish
because
him off. 4 rounds on the
if
board
they
for
are going
Envy.
to lose, it's a lot better to lose, you know, with a 4 or 5 score.
Those guys haven't given up from a man for Caboose. Look at them right now, 8 and 7, really holding their ground on that mid-side take together.
I mean, they've got to be hungry.
Holding it down for any
Like,
type of pushes.
if they can
from
put
the
if they can pull us
Cloud9
back,
in
they've
mid
won the
first.
entire best of
And it's
3.
them even pushing down aggressively. You saw them pass by that box, playing on the ledges, and covering towards Ramen and Sewers to get those frags to eventually fall off right after. That's going to put now Cloud9 back in a
I'm gonna get a drink. Actually, no, I'm not gonna get a drink at match point. That's probably not the best idea.
Lurk play right now for the attackers, and it's still going to be Caboose spotted first, but as he swings towards that
Yeah, if
right,
they go overtime, I'm getting a drink.
that duo working together to get that first kill.
I love that play too, to kind of get
Is
into
it just
that
me or just
position.
Cloud9 just like to play without him?
Caboose just flying in with the blast pack to get an early positional advantage.
I know.
Good damage coming
I mean,
out.
they're pretty
Relics
cracked.
He's got the frenzy right around the corner. The tripwire was down. Nice dink shot at least onto food.
Yeah, if Cloud9 loses this,
But a 2-man advantage for Envy.
that'll be
Shinobi
interesting.
gonna try and work his way in with just a pistol. There's
I don't think they will though.
one on the balcony and one just nestled up behind the box.
Just based on what we see.
There's one standing in the move bot.
Okay, Envy is
Blowout actually
hungry.
Right in the face of Caboose, but by that point, Caboose had already done the dirty work.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get a
the only
drink.
one surviving and trying
'Cause
to
this
sneak
isn't
into
gonna
the
happen,
site
is
to
it?
potentially find a plant. Does have
does.
at
That'd be
least
crazy.
some site control, but there's that paint shells going down. Could go for this plant potentially, but decides to just take for the fight. And it doesn't work out so well. 5 rounds for Envy. Slowly putting themselves into a position where a comeback could be considered, but you've still got to look at just the mountain of rounds that separates these two teams, and also the performance that's coming out from TenZ, that pop-off potential that could occur at any moment. 27 kills for TenZ. At one point, he and Shinobi were close, but he has since just hit the afterburners, and he's left everyone in his dust.
But still, when you look back at Envy, how tense his storyline was able to be wherever the opponents were in the pushes. Nice drop there by Caboose with the showstopper to spot Relics. This is what I'm talking about. Very similarly to tense, Caboose and Mame seem to be at the right locations to get these first bloods, and also
Imagine the
one
1v5 win. Imagine.
So after that showstopper, he's pushing all the way towards spawn. We're playing in that angle. He watched spawn and also hear footsteps if they're trying to run through sewers. But the thing is, though, Vice is walking, and everybody else is walking back from B towards
That's
spawn.
if they win
He's in a
14
tight
to 12.
spot. He's gonna have to be here on his next kill against Shinobi, it seems.
I'm gonna be real with you. Is that
I
just
like the
performance?
aggressive I love the confidence
Like, that's kind of, yeah.
that you see.
That'd be
putting
really
over
cool, though.
Caboose. Oh no, crashies! I like that at least. He went for that initial peek, then hits the rolling thunder instead.
Media
Playing
attention.
a little bit
Yeah.
risky at first and then safe, but
Um,
had he gotten that in the right order, it probably would have produced a serious success.
That's debatable if it'd be
Still
worse.
seems to be working
You
out
could be right
initially
there.
as he finds an opener, but traded out by Mitch.
30 seconds.
Probably
left.
wouldn't be worse overall.
Numbers
Now that I think of
favoring
it.
Envy. You've got
Because the only thing that would happen is their reputation would be
for
the
kill
people
total
who
as well. So
are amazing but
Lockdown
choke.
available, and now Omen has
So
the port.
that's not too bad.
There's flexibility. And you can see that ult being called out as the spike is in the hands of Omen. I don't think
seconds
it's
left.
gonna
Oh,
Mummy is there. Yep.
GG's.
Well read from Mummy as he goes cross map on a hunt for that Omen player, and it works out nicely for them. Envy now have 6 rounds on the board.
Oh my gosh,
Inch by inch, they crawl back into the game.
bruh.
Yeah, they're
How is
just
no one in
really
Twitch? No one in Twitch
control
chat
the
is
first half here from the way they're playing on this second
is bringing up the fact that this is exactly what
Even
happened
then,
with
when
TSM.
Caboose kinda
Like
died towards that
exactly.
I think he only spotted Omen at that
I mean,
point.
almost exactly. I think at this point, I think Cloud9 and TSM have. I think Cloud9 was 11, TSM was like 6 or something. I think sponsoring Envy and you don't understand Valorant and score 12-5. You will eat your fingers.
Towards this mid as well. They didn't really push outside of B, if I'm not mistaken, because they
Damn,
didn't
that
have
was a
camera,
push.
to play
Just spray in the wall.
outside if they tried to walk back towards that area for Cloud9. So very good here to readapt after that first
Yeah,
kill
if
from
they
the
do
first
this win,
cover, and also
if they
after
do win this, then
losing a player mid-round.
Mummy posted up with that op, waiting. Cloud9 currently has a lot in their toolkit. They've got Showstopper, they've got Lockdown, they've got the Rolling Thunder as well, but they don't have Shinobi. As the Omen was taken down by an aggressive play coming up from Mummy with the op. Flashed out of position is FNS though.
Ooh.
He's got Caboose still here, back of sight. Somehow got a second one spamming through. Tens is at least there with a trade. Relic spots a target as he tosses a blast pack up.
oh, this is.
There's quite a few
I feel bad.
bodies
I feel bad for Cloud9 in this state.
Everyone here, the knives
That
coming
was
out
a
just like
difficult
that,
position to be
snapping
in.
fingers. Envy gets back onto the site. No spike plant today. So Cloud9 trying to make it work, but no dice. Play continues on with Envy now just 5 rounds away from taking us into overtime.
You see from that scoreboard.
I wonder what
he's
Twitter's
literally
saying about
juggling
this right now.
Right now, knowing that if they lose this round, it's pretty much over. So Food is juggling a Phantom and also an Operator, just so that if he misses a shot looking towards his A-side elbow, he could switch back over to a Phantom and then hold the site. So double op set up now for the defenders of Envy, and Food is going to be potentially the first point of contact as Cloud9 is grouping up towards this area. But it's still going to be Envy putting up this fight. It's not over yet right now, as they're still giving this mid control available for Cloud9, and they're just stacking up at
Yeah,
sites.
people on Twitter talking about it a little bit.
Cloud9 is just looking for an
You
aggressive
should
push here
run.
at this point. The smokes are coming
Well, there's that Killjoy ult. We'll see if that's what it's going to take. Food is in position, pinging out the turret. Has to be careful as that ult
Oh,
is going to
okay,
connect. He's trying to
okay,
get away, but
okay,
no,
okay.
It's detained because he got slowed. So there's 2 players.
Does Raze have
actually
her ult there
detained.
now?
Gonna
Push her
blast
ult.
him out of position.
Oh, no
It's an
way,
easy
no
couple
way.
of kills for them to gain access to the
No
site.
way.
This could potentially be it. Cloud9 is gonna get a spike
Spike
plant out of
planted.
this, and it's a 4-on-3, and they've still got the rolling.
What was
Thunder to play
TSM
with.
score?
That is so unfortunate.
I can't
Let's see
remember.
what happens with the round now with the attempt of a retake. Only 2 players remaining.
To be fair, I
As
could
the
find that
first
out pretty
player is
quickly.
out from the doorway, a rolling thunder here into the site. And he gets out of position. There's that first kill, but didn't connect onto the second one. It's still up to Crashy. 3 versus 1. Spots the first. Fights
No
the
way,
last.
no at all.
Able to crossfire set up, but Relic gets that last
Bro, I legit thought we were gonna see another 2v1. I was gonna be like, okay, right, okay. So now we're going to map 3.
Jumped there
Awesome.
by Mitch. He was like, oh, the turret's not spotting me, so I'm just going to ping it for my teammates.
That is
So
still
looking
funny
to
though.
push
12,
into the
13,
site,
7.
And then suddenly, as it spots him, he's like, holy crap, I can't get a kill anymore with the operator before trying to shadow step away.
Why can't I hear this music? There we go. Oh, that's loud. Sorry. That was loud. Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, they could have gotten it earlier. I was just thinking, if they actually lose this now after 12, that would be interesting. Right, okay, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock. Awesome. Well, let's get this. Take it easy, Charlie. It's good seeing you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. You had a very large. Yeah, of course. Yeah, GG, Charlie. Let's try and watch the next match because let's get the best of 3 at least in. and then I'll probably finish. But I'm going to, well, you know the drill. I don't know how much battery life is in this thing, so. Okay. I actually will not be leaving during this break. 5 minutes. Okay, I can do that. So who do you think is going to win, chat? Is it going to be Envy? Or is it going to be Cloud9? There's just no telling, because yes, Cloud9 did just destroy Envy, but then Envy did come back pretty hard, and previous game they won, so. To be fair, I don't think there's an obvious answer. You think Envy? Okay. I actually I don't know what the next map is, so that'll be interesting. I would assume it might be Bind or Haven. Have they not played Haven yet? By opening Valorant, it's only 5 minutes. I'm going to custom. Recently, the only time I've really been playing Valorant is on stream, which is pretty bad, isn't it? Because that's barely it at all. But it's not because I don't want to, it's just because editing and other stuff. No worries, Coyote. All good. 10 minutes, it'll be 20 minutes. Yeah, we'll check back in a few minutes and see what's up. I'm not on my right keybinds. 2 minutes. This is hardly worth it. No worries. Okay, look. I did just headshot them, right? Not unfair. Wow. Trying to hit the heads. Well, this is embarrassing. I'm really not in the zone for it. Yeah, it's still anyone's game for sure. Still anyone's game. What's... Oh, that's good. So you missed my gameplay. That's dope. I'm really glad. If I was going at it for like 10 minutes, then I'd probably have warmed up, but it was like a minute. So. I just noticed what they've written there. I should totally be atting them. What am I doing? I've already tweeted a highlight and I didn't at them. Will it be the same map or different? Well, they played Split before. They played Ascent, and I wasn't there for the first game. I can't remember. Quick question: is it weird for me to be thinking of the next agent already? Hey, I'm way ahead of you. Yeah, if you're really into this game, I can understand that totally. We will find out soon. You hate Haven. It sounds wrong to play on it. Haven's an interesting... Haven feels like quite a basic map. In terms of like the layout. But it's not a bad, it's just basic, it feels. Compared to like what we've seen now. And it's very obviously out in the open a lot. I think the idea of 3 sites is a really good idea and should be used more. Yeah, I can see that. I think it could be used more. There's not really a lot of it right now, is there? In fact, there's only one. A, B, and C, I think. Yeah. This is a bit intense. I wasn't going for that. 10 has A4. I haven't even been looking. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, have you seen him on Aim Lab though? This guy. I mean, I think actually, he was in the highlight video, the Icebox highlight video I did. I think he got, yeah, he went off, didn't he, in B Kitchen, I remember. That's the one. What are we saying?
Yeah. So it's
I'm gonna go to sleep, hoping to see Cloud9 win. Look forward to, yeah, take it easy, take it easy. Have a good one.
It only showed 4 spike plants.
Appreciate you being here.
That game played out on Split. Like it was just a brawl.
I don't really think they'll do another 3 site map, maybe 4 or 1, maybe.
Oh, they've gotten site control.
I'm not sure if the number of sites is what they're. I don't think that's a factor that they use to define maps. It might be. I mean, it kind of is to a certain extent, but I can see them doing another 3 site. It all depends as well how many maps we're gonna get, right? Which I have no idea. I have a rough idea of how many agents, but maps I don't know.
Final map to see who will be walking into next week's closed qualifiers with that coveted #1 seed.
I mean, one site would be interesting. It would be a bit weird.
Of all teams, they're the ones
I mean, the retakes would be a bit weird, but
big brands you've seen over the last several months not present at this point in the bracket. The highest we saw one of those teams finish was 3rd place.
Okay.
As we watch that,
I can work with Bind.
We're gonna see the composition come through. Shinobi on the Omen, Vice on the Sova. Mitch with the Killjoy, still 10s on the Reyna, and then Relics as the Raze, Mummy, Omen, Crashies on the Sova, and we'll get the rest as well as we kick off this pistol round and see how things are gonna get going. Relics decides to fly in. It's awkward to see.
Yep, Alex in focus.
And can't quite make it work.
What do we take? One side is a good.
Being punished currently by Envy as Cloud9 wanted to take the battle to their doorstep, and Envy was waiting for it.
Yeah,
maybe half a site. I don't know.
You might still have a line of fire where they're just spraying pistols, and you got caught into that for Relics at that point. It was a perfect paranoia, but I think at that point you try to look back towards the right side. But I know the idea. You blind the ones on the right, you try to kill the ones on the left. If they're trying to pinch in.
I went full screen for me.
But as they try to read into that,
would cut stuff off for you.
Land the shots, unfortunately, so they lose 2 players early. And now Cloud9 are forced to stack somewhere, and they're stacking in the right spot, actually. They have 3 players inside this B side, and the full roster of Envy are currently getting ready to walk into this site.
Envy now moving back.
If I
towards
remember
B.
correctly,
This is the best case scenario right
did
now.
Cloud9 lose to TSM on buying?
Shinobi to step up. Mitch is at least able to get one spin.
Yeah, for sure. Every map
Somehow
has
is
something
still
special.
alive, but the hot hands lands and he starts to just immolate, and it doesn't work out so well for him in the
Yeah,
end.
Icebox specific
Pick up
speciality as
same
such
amount
is
of rounds on Bind as they did in
verticality.
the first half on Split. Already a better start here than the last map. And we'll see if they can keep things going. Only one kill in that pistol round, and it was Mitch with the frenzy and a frantic spray through both a dark cover and a cyber cage. With
To be
no
fair, it was
information
interesting seeing
whatsoever,
people's
just sort of a
criticisms of
dance
it.
coming out.
Because obviously, the group that played it, we only had so many people to give feedback, so seeing everyone's feedback, honestly, it was what I expected to be real, but
I don't want to do any audible cues to try to run out to give away my position. Hot hands comes down onto your feet.
if it was one-sided, Cypher, Killjoy, and Sage would just set it up. What's up? What's up? Oh, I know the internet hasn't gone because Twitch chat's still going. Let's restart
The
this.
attacking side, though, they're going to manage to scoop up control of that B site. They'll go ahead and secure the spike as well. The pistol of 10s eventually finds the kill. The heal will help, but it won't take them up to full reset. Sitting below 50 HP as they group up now and come through into Hookah. They've actually managed to make this work. They've brought it down now to 2, and the Sova gets dropped down to just around 5 HP. Mummy's on site with a full boat.
It was. It shouldn't be lagging anymore.
Look at the damage that's being dealt. Mummy's
Is it lagging for you
still
anymore,
alive.
or?
Has to go to the sidearm as he's down out of ammo. And there it is. Cloud9 make it work. It
Okay.
starts with the shotgun, putting a nice little hole in
Cloud9
the chest of that
doing
first
their thing.
attacker, and then they manage to revert and
Actually, now that I think of it, this string's been, in terms of the general thing, it's been pretty good in terms of lag. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. That's all good. Yeah, we've only lost in OBS in the software that I use. It gives you it gives you information about the stream and stuff, and we've only dropped 0.1% of frames. Which, bear in mind, the first stream when I had to like disconnect and stuff, I think we were dropping something like 35%. So 0.1% is pretty
It
good.
was shot at, but it wasn't broken. The position was
Personally, like Icebox, but don't play characters that work on it. Yeah, I can understand that. I've had to sort of play around with what characters that I use on it actually. But yeah, I agree.
So Cloud9 did a great job here to even things up on a 3-3 round rather. A full
Sky's, yeah, no, Sky is going to be good on Icebox. Sky will be very good on Icebox. She's going to be very irritating to be killed by on Icebox.
that's what makes 10s.
But as I said in the video,
Arena so interesting.
shoot her abilities, you should be
For a long
fine.
time, we've praised Jet
Obviously,
as
that's
being one
easier
of the
said than
strongest
done.
initiators because of the escapability. Well, 10 just illustrates that same trait with a character that also has a range
Okay,
and a self
Cloud9.
as 10's escapes with the
But then,
distance like
the thing
many
is,
times in the past, as they try to make their
no
way
matter
onto
how
the
well
A side after
Cloud9
losing that
do,
initial battle, they did
I'm always
nothing.
going to have some level
And
of
Cloud9 comes away with a
that thing in the
flawless
back of my
round victory
mind
that allows them
that's telling
to
me
add
it ain't
to
over
the
yet.
stats. 2600 for relics. He's the lowest on the
They've
totem
built
pole when it
that
comes to
brand
credit
now.
accumulation.
They can destroy, and then they just
Envy,
chill
they're
out
gonna
for a
spend
second,
up
you know?
here. But again, no ops in play. Vice is on an SMG, as is Shinobi. So they're approaching this one as a bonus round, which is fine as they're going to have so much money to fall back on. Hopefully they can get something going. Vice
Revealing
going to
area.
go aggressive off the bat with a recon dart. The same fired back at them, giving away their positions.
Yeah, Mitchell's the one that was spotted. So you have a couple of paint shells that are being thrown, a paranoia. They're going to try
This
to rush
could be
in
bad for
now.
Cloud9.
Taking control at least of this orb. It's still halfway before the showstopper is ready here for food. So they just want to take advantage of the orb start. Now they try to take control of the B side. How does that still blow up in front of your face? Mitch is down to 61. But
Oh.
they're still converging in, but they're still holding their ground. Mitch now under heavy attack.
Okay, maybe, fair enough. Cloud9, you proved me wrong. Damn, I wasn't expecting them to... They weren't set up for it, really. That's what I thought, but they were quick to adapt. Fair play to them.
Solid. Yeah, I mean, they just put their foot down and said no.
I recently tried out Omen
to get
because I
past
needed
it.
the help on Icebox
Yet
so
again,
far.
it's
I'm
a
playing
slow
way too
start
aggressive,
for
but it
two of
works
the
out
players
when
of
it
Envy.
isn't
This
trash.
time, though, It's Food and
I have
Crashies.
not played anywhere near enough
Last time
Omen,
it was Caboose and Mummy on Split.
which is a very
Food
important
and
agent
Crashies,
in
not yet on the
Icebox,
scoreboard, but
as you probably know.
there's still time. They won the pistol.
Yeah,
Lost
he's a
to
very
Nico
good
in the round that
agent
follows.
for Icebox.
And they've been losing rounds since then, but it's back down to pistols for the time being for Envy. And again, you see Tens locking down Showers. Has his ult available. Empress, that increased fire
Yeah, it's
rate
mainly the verticality and the
Very
sort
scary.
of
when encountering
the
a player with
verticality
8
and the
clips of
illusion,
10s.
basically. You know, teleporting and stuff.
Envy just grouping up currently.
That's what I've seen at least.
And they're sitting back for what appears to be a short A push. And they're going to be wandering into a lot of players currently waiting for them. Now, Relics was up on top of the truck. They
Yeah,
the Paranoia prepared
that's
to come
true.
through. And yeah, the initial few just completely obliterated. Now, Mummy does actually manage to spot Shinobi and take him down. Tens is here, and he's still shooting him away.
Cloud9,
Spike drops
like,
in an effort to try to get
okay,
through the
I
portal.
see you.
They fall just outside of it. And again, 4 players survive for Cloud9, and you can see what that's doing to the money. 9,000, 7,000, 7,800, 7,600, and 7,100 for Shinobi. There is serious stockpiles of cheddar built up for Cloud9.
Yeah, so there's 2 things that right now Envy has to try to do. The first one is how do you try to take control of you?
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't play him very often, but the TP, I can take some a learning curve for sure.
Pretty much on lockdown. But the second time, this is something that Envy does a lot too. Is trying to take control of Octagon, trying to take control of Long Beach early into the round, and they're still doing it this round here. The thing is though, Cloud9 is contesting it back with their own recon darts when they can, and also just playing it really great and passively inside of the site. Where all those utilities here for Envy to try to clear out the Octagon side, there's nothing left really when you try to move into
And
the
like
site.
that, they
You gotta
shift their
readapt that a little bit
resources.
here,
They are ready
and
for the
even into
fight.
this round, as they're being ready
At least I
by
think they
Cloud9,
are.
Okay, they're trying to work out towards this Long Beach.
Thing is, imagine if like Rage just came out with an RPG now, Ace, like that.
Take flight. Back later on when the execution
Joke's over! You're dead!
Well, there's the run it back being used as an opener. Caboose is going to charge in first. The flash was on the money, but for some reason pulls out the knife to jump around the corner.
I can just imagine the characters just screaming charge while
and it's perfect.
running in.
Money as Caboose gobbles up the rocket. It's down to now just 1 for Envy. It's
Oh, I feel
Crashies
bad for
who's
this.
taking the portal and hoping to get a spike plant out of this scenario. Now, Crashies does have his ult available, so
30
there
seconds
is a
left.
chance that he could use that ult to
This
try
is
and prevent the
really-
spike from
Spike
being
planted.
defused, but he's going to have to do some serious legwork.
If
to
he
get
wins
that one
this.
even. There's a perfect Lear coming out. That's going to make
area.
things so much harder. Sure, he
Oh,
finds
this is
the
so
kill, but
difficult.
Look at the cost. 25 HP remains.
I feel bad.
Distracted by
I
the
feel bad
leaping
for him.
target, and Relics will round the bend and close out another round here for Cloud9. That's 5
What could
on the
have been
board
great?
compared to just 1 for Envy.
So the salvation at least is that even though Tens popped off his Empress,
He knows he will
he's still
lose. He
dead,
could have
so he
looped.
loses accumulating more points from
That would have been
from
funny.
that, so it's going to be a little bit harder for that star player of Cloud9 to charge up the next Empress going through. But again, they're trying to go into this B side where that single mistake was the biggest mistake there for that execution. For
Yeah, that would have been content.
having to switch
That would have
out to his
gone
knife,
up on the
that
channel.
totally cancels things out where they don't gain any type of grounds into the B execution after that. You looked at the X's across the board on that minimap, you had them die at elbow and still die at the octagon. Nobody was once again able to
Yeah.
into this
I mean,
B
hey,
side.
from that end,
Alone,
it's
the
a tactical
first
move.
Numbers being punched in onto the spike to be provided into the B side. So again, I think Envy at that point, if they want to try one more time, they do have an amount of spirit to work with to try to clear out that elbow. But
Yeah, it'd be cool to. I don't want to say to have a troll because that's not really what you want, but to have a performer in esports to do stuff like that would be pretty cool.
From that train, but like I said,
Like in Fortnite, you kind of do to a certain extent, or you've at least there's been people who've been in the Fortnite World Cup, for example, like Nate Hill, who started just playing the guitar and singing a song in the middle of being at the end of the game. Like everyone's shooting everywhere and he's just in a box playing guitar. Damn. But this could Envy could pick this up. 2v1 or sorry 2v3. Nope. Unfortunate.
That shock dart makes it a little bit easier for Vice. It's down to just crashies, and it's another round for Cloud9. Echoes of that first map, or that second map, excuse me, the first half from Split, as Cloud9's defense looks so incredibly good. But a big part of that too is that Envy just cannot get their money in order. You know, they aren't really finding much success. They've only had 2 spike plants in the last 6 rounds. And one of those was like a 1v4 panic port over to the A site from B. It feels like, for the most part, Envy just can't get anything.
I'm just waiting for Envy to get 8 rounds,
Saw them
in like 10 minutes when Cloud9 got to 12.
They go for the offensive operator, to go for a rifle. They're going to opt to go for full ARs instead. While they're trying to clear out a little bit here towards this mid-side short A, all 5 players are stacked up there. So they're going to play off the back here of the Recon Owl, and then the Paranoia, I will not give any information because that's the first one. Shinobi.
And it starts. It starts.
That ult doesn't go off. We saw that a couple times, a couple of canceled ults. The range
Nice.
passed. Vice from distance actually gonna land 2 pulses of the Hunter's Fury. That takes this from being an advantageous position for Envy
Bro, what am I
to
watching?
now being an even 2-on-2.
This is crazy.
Now Mummy's in
Envy
that
are about to experience some
Crash is
deja
able to
vu.
sneak over towards that default position. You don't see the spike plant
For real.
all that often. I like the blast pack utilization.
Oh my
that allows them to
gosh.
get into that spot. And the nade is actually good enough. And now Mummy, what is he going to be able to do here? Has to spam through the box. Actually,
Oh,
does
this is
connect.
good.
So now it's down to the 1-on-1. They didn't get the spike to halfway. Fake port coming out.
It's just the fact that's exactly what Raze is meant for.
Through, but Vice reads it well, and Mummy runs out of ammo.
That's exactly what Raze is meant for.
28 HP, excuse me, all that's left there.
To do stuff like
In
that.
the end, for Vice, who's just having a little bit of fun with it at this point. 7-1, Cloud9 barely survives a round, but it's a round win nonetheless.
And that, the idea of the shadow step was perfect.
Well, I gotta say, this is definitely different
for
to
Mummy, but at the same time, Vice was already
yesterday's
at triple. That even
tournament.
if the shadow step came down, he knows that it would be so close to him that he could get off it at the same time too. So he read that fake and he could just kind of stick it. And while the spray was happening first, it was just a random spray. It wasn't actually even tapped yet on that spike. So we were guessing.
Yeah,
for
so the
that
players
shot,
who
allowed
get the
Vice to
ults
just go for
down.
that wide swing and go for that kill right after.
That's
But now let's see if they have that money. If the money is right now for Envy, as they
definitely
get
got
the
some
spike
skill
plant, they do have
involved.
the rifles across the board, small shield, but again,
all of his
now finally
abilities.
you have crashes moving forward, and this is not common. Cloud9 throughout this whole half has always had Mitch and De Silva also playing towards that elbow, so just ult into there and try to get into the site.
I am interested / surprised that
it's gonna be
Cloud9 are going just
clash
below
on the
window,
B site.
because they're gonna get destroyed
Utility
by window like that,
suspended from
surely.
both teams. There's the ult coming out from Mitch. Mitch taken down. The ult's gonna get destroyed. There's still Shinobi to deal with, and the fight ends up going the direction of Cloud9 at first. But then it spirals back to Envy's favor. The nade comes
Oh,
out,
no.
but it's a little too late to stop.
Actually, no,
Cloud9
2v1?
just
Okay, I thought it was like 5v1 or something.
We'll see if that's gonna be enough. As he's
Okay,
not
well.
prepared for the peak coming out from Mummy.
Where is Average Jones?
So
I've noticed that every
tactics
Killjoy
be
player
damned, just
usually
run into
doubles
the
as a
B
Cypher
site.
player, but I could be wrong.
It seems like just
Exactly.
a full bore B push.
I would say, yeah, I've
when
noticed the
all
players that
else
I've
fails,
come
rush
across
B.
who are
I
Killjoy
wanna point out the fact
mains
that
or
it
also
feels
Cypher mains
like
sometimes.
When we watch teams who are
I'm
good
neither.
online,
I play
one of the
neither,
things
so.
we see them
I mean,
do
Cypher I
is
play a
use
little bit,
ways to clear out hookah every
and when
round
I
of
do
that.
play him, he's
That's
very,
different
it's
from
very
what
helpful,
teams
like
do
the
it time
camera and
time
stuff.
again. Immortals was really good on it with their old roster.
His
They're
camera's
still
probably
good
one of
with
the,
current
probably
one
the,
as well.
my favorite
We're not
ability of
seeing
his.
that from Envy. In fact, we're seeing a general
Just saves me having to
disregard for hookah
keep checking every
as
site,
they
because
put most of their
yeah.
focus more towards long and
when you're
maybe
playing
some one-player
random or
hookah.
when you're playing public
That's-
games like that,
I kinda
Envy's
wonder.
playstyle.
Yeah,
You don't
like,
always have
I kinda
intel.
wonder if they would have a little bit more success if they used Food's Boombot to clear it out the way we've seen so many other teams do that in the past.
Well, right now, it's how Envy does it to try to clear out towards that long is usually to play off literally that Silva drone that's going out there towards long B. Then you have the Raze that close by that he could actually try to let something run.
That was a nice headshot. Tens answers very quickly. Oh my gosh. Tens is very good with Reyna.
They sort of have control of this fight, but the
Tens
spike
is
has
very
now
good
been
with Reyna.
dropped and traded off. You still have one lurking across.
And it
It's
makes
that Silva
sense.
that
He's
actually
such a
zoned it back
fragger.
at the
Like, he
beginning of
knows
the round.
his
Right now,
aim
Rashi
is
has to pull
crazy.
back and wait for for his teammates. FNS
Ooh,
pushed
alright.
all the way up towards
Fair play.
Spark, gets the first kill onto mid, but doesn't know the last
Spike
two players. Were
planted.
but he plays a smart move to fall back and play the numbers advantage on this post-plan situation.
I've seen Cloud9 put off plays like this before,
It's a
but
2-on-3. Envy
whether that
in a
will happen
great
now, I don't
position
know.
to put another round on the scoreboard, and another round they desperately need. Dark cover comes out from Shinobi. There's 1 in showers and 2 in U-Haul.
Oh, well, that
Deep recon
Silver
dart,
Darts just hurt.
and some spam coming out from Vice. Almost connects. Now that paranoia is right on the money. That blinds Vice for days. Trying to look for him. Tapping. You
Oh,
see the
oh.
points coming out, the pings on the spike. They're looking for him. He's not on it, though. Not even able to survive as Mummy comes through with a flying, jumping classic. The spike will detonate. And,
If you really
whoops.
want to learn Cypher, I recommend learning Killjoy
I'm sure
first
he's
at least.
giggling
Fair enough.
in the voice chat right now,
Fair
but
enough.
that's an expensive death as he now loses the op.
That
and
was
has
an
to
awkward
rebuy.
end game.
And the rest of the team's like, dude, you should have been running away. Like, the spike detonated. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. At least he has that money to buy that op, and you also are able to drop a rifle.
Is this where they come back?
But like I said before, when Mummy had that opportunity to buy an operator, he actually still went for a rifle. So they might
If they win now, they
go
have a
for
great
full
chance of
AR
winning.
into this round and
True.
try to figure out what they want to do with this. But
The
just to get
disparity
back to
between
what
their
you
score
mentioned
isn't
before in terms of like teams taking control of
not that big, to be
at the
honest.
same time, in terms of that B fight, I got a
Like,
hard
4
time
rounds
at
is
the end
nothing,
of
we all know that.
for that Sova.
Like, that can happen in the space of about 10
One
minutes.
where Days or Gangsta with Immortals, they always just even before time will just literally just 100.
Good first start.
From elbow into
You can
long
see
range,
Relics
vice
is still
versa,
very, very
to
much in the
control that
zone.
B side, and I think they should utilize that to get into the sites. There. Case closed, page turned. Let's move into the action now. As we
How-
have FNS,
please.
one that's trying to get the information first, force that short A, gets
How
put
did they
off,
not notice
the rest of
that?
them have to work back,
I mean, maybe they can't hear it. Maybe
figure out
it's...
how to move into the site.
Like, they literally shot into the site.
It looks like they're going to be working back to A, where you've got the softer defense currently. Shinobi and Relics.
Joke's over. You're
3
dead.
players over on B.
Oh, okay, ulting.
It's a little bit
They
scary.
want to
Trying
close down this
confirm.
disparity.
Paranoia is right where
They want to
needs
close
be,
it down.
But Shinobi has to back off after that initial kill, and he does. Now I love what we're seeing as well on the other side. You've got Mitch now pushed up in mid, ready to get the flank, but you've got Caboose going in first.
Oh,
Falling through the
bro,
lead.
imagine being in that room.
30
Not really
seconds
gonna
left.
produce much success for them. Relics picks off one.
That
Now
team
flying
play just to
follow.
clear that room out was
Shinobi's
something
found.
else.
The spike player going down 10.
And the fact that Cloud9 managed to stop that from happening is very impressive.
8 rounds.
Cloud9 is seriously impressing me. Seriously. I know they had their times, but like,